Anyway, so that's the business aspect of it. Let's talk about what happened last week. So last week, the party found out that the sorcerer king of Golg, we could have done with 1. 5 probably was too many, but
sorcerer king.
It was exactly the amount I wanted.
Yes, exactly. So she,
If we want more, that can happen.
Okay.
she actually has a strong tradition of using druidic magic, in addition to the normal arcane defiling magic that sorcerers use. I love watching you go
First
through
I was
the
like,
range
yeah,
of
but then it's like, I don't know anymore.
yeah, the range of
Osvald has
amazing.
done a lot of
Yesterday.
character growth.
Yeah. And she, you find that the citizens of Golg are surprisingly happy with their situation in their city and their leader. They call her Oba. Her actual name is Lalali Poi, but they call her Oba, and she takes care of them, and she puts a very large focus on nature and ecology of the surrounding area as well as the city itself, which is, I wouldn't say so much unusual for a sorcerer king as it is she's the only one that cares at all.
Which kind of is almost the definition of unusual.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but it's beyond
She's like a
unusual.
crazy person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Yenen's gonna gaslight her. That's
And I
good.
should have.
So Kiganis, thank you so much.
I know.
This is actually Kiganis. I don't know if you have time to stick around, but this is going to be fun for me to work in later on in the episode because you probably don't know this, but there's a very good reason for you to be donating this today. Kiganis, you have my axe for the party, which thank you very much. But also Buff the Bads.
Of course.
Naturally.
Yeah. So Kiganis giveth and taketh away.
Context is for punks, you know?
Yeah, context is for punks. That's how I listen. That's how I live my life. Also, politics. Context is for punks.
No?
So, let's. So the party traveled to this city, found a very different culture, a very different set of circumstances, and a different set of rules to be working under. As they found that the Veiled Alliance in Golg is operating almost openly, and that the Oba doesn't seem to give them too much trouble, which is surprising and probably a good thing for the Veiled Alliance to be able to do their work without having to hide. So that's good for them. The rumors had been that she was trying to go through some sort of transformation, and the Veiled Alliance had some concerns. So aside from her, without notifying her or the city government of Golg, they recruited the party to scout out and see if they could figure out exactly what she was looking to do. And she's looking to transform herself into the Evangian, which is a supremely powerful magical being. Most sorcerer kings look to transform into dragons. She is looking to do something different, which is able to harness druidic magic as well as maximize psionic power. So arcane, psionic, and druidic power all together in one.
It's kind of like Tamagotchis. Like, they could turn into all sorts of different animals, but, like, if you were really perfect about your Tamagotchi, it would turn into a person. Mm-hmm. Like, that's like the advantage.
It's just like Tamagotchis. That very timely reference. Thank you, Jordan.
Also,
They take a lot of time
I didn't
and
know
care.
that Tamagotchis could turn into people.
I didn't know that
Mine
either.
always
Did not
died.
either. Yeah,
Yeah.
correct.
Mine made it to tadpole stage, and then no matter what I did, died.
You know what? If you were shitty to your Tamagotchi, it would turn into a snake or like a rat, and those were like the worst ones. But it had all sorts of other animals, and the best thing you could get was an owl. But if then you kept raising it as an owl and doing a really good job, it would transform into a human.
So all people
That is
are
how
owls.
evolution works.
I left my Tamagotchi in my parents' room, and it kept making noise throughout the night, so my dad made me get rid of it. He was like, why is it?
Does anybody else
Poor
bring
Darrel.
Furbies?
Why is it doing that?
I didn't actually have a Tamagotchi. I had a nano pet.
Oh,
A nano
yeah.
cat.
Nanopets were like the Tamagotchi ripoffs that came after Tamagotchi.
Not everybody could afford. No,
I had the Star Wars one, which was a Rancor that you actually fed slave girls.
Wow.
That's
Wow,
interesting.
that seems...
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
They don't make toys like that anymore.
Oh.
So
See if there's a Tamagotchi app.
So there's
Has to be.
there's an altar that the party came across, which had been essentially stolen from the land of a neighboring tribe, and the sorcerer king Oba apparently killed the tribe leader for it, and then made everyone else in the tribe leave under the auspices of, well, we're gonna investigate this and see what happened, because clearly this is some unusual set of circumstances. So for the time being, the tribe had been moved so that she could investigate what happened. Of course, the party knows now that that is just, it's a farce. So, upon investigating the altar, it turns out that there somehow was someone else that was trying to go through that process a very long time ago, and they failed. They didn't have quite enough power to undergo the process. And just between what the party has available, the party also doesn't have the ability to undergo the process. They don't even have the power to destroy it either.
They might have someone.
Well, maybe. But the party currently does not have access to the magic needed to destroy this altar. Currently, actually, the only thing the party has is followers of the way. They don't have any druidic magic or arcane magic to destroy this altar. So, last week, the party fought off some undead, some ghosts, saved the person that was attempting to undergo that process previously, and then sent a messenger back to the Veiled Alliance for help. Yenin, you, back at the legendary free city of Tyr, got a message was given to you by one of your officials saying that they intercepted a message from the Veiled Alliance. They did obviously kill the messenger and anyone associated with it so that no one else could know about this situation.
No, don't shoot the messenger.
Of course we shoot the messenger.
Once they got the message, the messenger's dead.
If you intercept a messenger, you're supposed to kill it.
Exactly, yeah, that's the whole idea.
If it brings it to you, you're like, you made it, messenger.
Yep. So that's after looking at the message, you're able to see that this sorcerer king Oba is trying to undergo this transformation. In fact, she has been the primary aggressor or culprit in the attacks, the recent attacks against the legendary free city of Tyr, which is obviously disconcerting because the idea that someone could challenge you is surprising, because no other cities were thought to be quite as powerful as Tyr. But not only does she appear to be as powerful, she's now going to make herself individually much more powerful.
Would you say it was top tier?
It was top tier. Yeah. Well, no, you're thinking of the floating city.
You're thinking of over tier.
Over tier.
Over tier,
Over
yeah, it's
tier.
called over tier.
Yeah.
We also have a song, Over Tier.
Yeah.
What would happen if tier dropped?
Well, tier wouldn't drop. Over tier would drop.
Yeah.
And then it would become part of tier. It would probably, and then we'd have to rebuild. We'd have new tier, old tier, and still under tier.
Well, depending on how heavy over tier is, tier might become under tier.
Yeah.
Well, if it's floating, it can't weigh anything.
That's a good point.
It's just science.
That's how weightlessness works.
So yeah, you get that message. Unfortunately, it looks like in the message it mentions that time is of the essence, and you have maybe 2 weeks at best before the Sorcerer King undergoes this transformation. You do not have access. You can't just teleport anywhere you want in the world, and it's about a 5-week
Why
journey.
not?
It's a good question. Why not? But it only takes you a few minutes of trying to figure out this problem before you remember that you actually had set up a teleportation gate to a place called the Blood Mines,
Yep.
which is actually only a couple of days away from Golg. People who watched in season 1 will remember that they did that, which at the time the players argued about whether or not they wanted that gate. Maybe it would be safer to blow up the gate so that people couldn't use it, but the players decided that they would rather have it. So luckily you have that, and you're able to use the gate to teleport and spend just a couple of days traveling before you get to this location referenced in the message. And supposedly there's this altar hidden in a cave, but the cave is blocked by a village, and the village is completely surrounded by Templars of by Oba's Templars. Unfortunately, your dex isn't great. You're not the stealthiest, sneakiest person around. So at one point, a Templar does notice you as you're kind of scouting around. And so
It's the fact that my face is melting, right?
yeah, your face is melting and you're
He
made
still
out
looks
of
like a burning shit.
you're
right?
made out of magma. Yeah, that whole thing. The fact that you're made out of magma, that makes it tough to hide in the forest sometimes.
Yeah.
Bright orange is not the best color to wear in the forest unless you're hunting, which maybe you are, because as the Templar runs at you, you're able to use one of your newfound druid powers to call the forces of lightning and electrocute him to death.
So thank you for that.
I'm learning.
But
this
it
lesson.
doesn't. But as he casts this, this spell, none of the surrounding vegetation is destroyed.
Well, at least there's that.
So
Cold-blooded
But a
murder,
deer
but
cries.
at least, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's sad.
a deer does cry.
But not a dove.
No, no,
Or a pig, because those are extinct.
that's true. That is canon. So you're able to make your way into the village. You see a tremendously torn apart corpse next to the fire. Clearly the leader of this tribe. As you go past that, you walk down a path and you're able to find this cave with the altar inside. And inside, you see the 4 people that you've been working with in the past, all camped out. You guys were expecting, if you were going to get reinforcements, you were expecting it a while still. You weren't expecting to see somebody in less than 3 days. I mean, you were thinking over a week before you were able to get someone who could help you destroy this altar. And in comes Yenin walking in to greet you.
Ugh.
So there you are.
If I'd known it was going to be Yenin, I would have definitely rigged this place up as a contingency plan.
Of course.
Yep. There's unfortunately this cave is not covered in explosives that you're aware of.
Damn it. Now what are we going to do?
Because last time, my contingency plans for Yenin totally paid off by almost killing all of us.
Right.
Worked out exactly how we were all hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you are. The altar sits there. Yenin, as you look at the altar, you can very clearly see the different types of runes that are written on it. Unfortunately, you're not well versed in the way, but the arcane and druidic writings on there are very clear to you.
Well, I guess we have to do this, right?
I admit this wasn't the reinforcements I was expecting to show up when we said we needed reinforcements.
I figure I should attempt this personally. It's not something I want left to unqualified hands.
Look, we're not here to stop. We're not here to stop Lil Lollipoi just so you can then take her place and take her big crazy fuck off magic explosion spot. Okay?
That's right.
Well said.
Big crazy fuck off magic explosion spot.
Mm-hmm.
Not the
Not there.
most. Yeah.
Not for you.
Have I said anything about wanting this power?
You did say I should do this myself.
Yes. I should be the one to dispose of such a terrible, terrible thing. It's clearly has been around very long time, and it should not continue to exist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Forgive me for not believing that you selflessly want to release this enormous power so that no one can have it, right? Because you've never shown any sort of ego or self-interest in creating an entire city that worships you. And
I created no city. I merely was elected a leader of a city that was looking for leadership, and I feel like I have done a fantastic job in making improvements on the city and making it a jewel of Athos.
sure, it's like you and the former Sorcerer King, you voted by trying to kill each other, and your vote was more effective
No,
than him.
That's how democracy works.
You-
We kill the other guy.
I forgive you for not, you were not there, but the Veiled Alliance did elect me almost unanimously as the Sorcerer King after I pleaded with them that I did not want this. These are facts.
That is what the history books say.
I'd
If you go back to the minutes of the meeting, that is how it unfolded.
Yenin the Reluctant, they've called you.
Yep, that is the reluctant. Yeah, I believe, if I remember correctly, the party actually said there should be a ruling council of some sort, and I believe it was Max's character, Haki. I can't remember exactly who said it, but one of the players, not Yenin, was like, well, the problem with the council is people disagree and nothing ever gets done, so we should have at least some sort of figurehead.
Ugh, Max would be a monarchist.
I don't know for sure if it was Max, but somebody made that point, and then immediately they're like, well, we need one person. How about Yenin? And Yenin was like, no, absolutely not. And, you know.
And then there was that whole where a guy was like, look, this should be one of us. And I was like, well, I was inducted into the Veiled Alliance, if you don't remember, a couple of weeks ago, so I am one of you.
But again, I don't want it. Just saying I am Veiled Alliance. And I did help to kill the previous Sorcerer King. But it should be somebody else. So that's kind of how it went down.
Fucking bullshit.
Your character seems really enamored with politics and how politics works. You seem to really like the system in place. So yeah, you think it would take, it's going to take a lot of time because this is an incredibly powerful artifact that you're looking at. So the ritual to do it would you're looking at several hours to be able to actually destroy this altar.
I'll help with the destruction.
I appreciate that. Finally, someone offering solutions, and then instead of pitiful arguments all the time.
I figure we can worry about all that after we destroy.
Sensible.
This, you know.
This is sensible.
It's just.
Hey, Osvald, you know this guy is like the direct result of a ton of terrible magic. Look at his face.
I know.
How do you know you're not going to catch magic from him?
Oh.
Well, but it has to be destroyed. I've been cursed before, so.
Oswald.
If I must.
Oswald, I understand your apprehension. I too am permanently scarred by magic. I did what I did to save my city. I knew that this was a possibility, but I needed to save my city from being besieged, and
Oswald,
I did it.
That's the magic talking.
But I
don't know what to believe.
But you have showed me that there are other paths.
Yes.
I've taken upon myself to learn druidic magic. You have brought me the materials and a mentor to train me in the ways of druidic magic.
But here's the thing I found out. I found this out recently. Druidic magic can be bad sometimes. You got to make sure that you're always doing it good. And I found out arcane magic can be good sometimes. You always got to make sure you're doing it the good way.
It's
I understand.
complicated.
It is not
that complicated.
It is
A little complicated for me and Oswald.
there is no simple answer, and I understand that you are a man who understands this. This is why I need men like you at my side to keep me in check, to be there to watch over me and see what I am doing, to know that I am doing good with what I can do.
Well, that's what I'm going to do right now when we destroy this altar.
Thank you.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
If I may interject, I'm not sure we're seeing things clearly here. I don't think we have enough information.
Says a man with no eyes.
Hey now.
Wait,
You're an all-star. Get your game up.
but from the way I
Sorry.
see it, if we don't destroy this altar,
Lalalipoi.
Lalalapoi is going to come in here and get a lot of power. We got to stop that.
Now,
But we don't know what happens. We've made some rash decisions trying to destroy things, and that Groldson guy freed some things, and all I'm saying is maybe we should focus on stopping the Lollipoi and not the altar, because we don't know what we might release, what power the altar is holding back, as well as what it can channel into a person.
Okay. Do we know where we got to find where she's at? I
Well,
Let me.
everybody roll me an intelligence check. We'll see if anybody.
Did you open this for me?
I did.
Thanks.
Wow! Stop! Everyone stop! Everyone stop! Darrel. So you actually had a vision when you were close to the altar, because you do have this affinity for druidic magic, even though you don't know how to use it, and you actually have a vision that imparts to you the prophecy of the Evangian, and the Evangian is supposedly the only thing that can save Athos, that can bring Athos back from what it is. And the Evangian actually has the power to bring back the water, to bring back the plants, just across the entire world. So if you could find somebody to elevate into an Evangian, it could save everything. They have that kind of power.
Wait. We can't destroy that altar. I saw it. I saw it. I don't know if it was the spirits telling me or something. And the Evangian's the only thing that can bring back all this. The trees, the twees that we love so much. The twees are going to be everywhere. There has to be an Evangian, and it should be someone that's, like I said, that's good, that uses everything for good, someone pure.
Osvald, you have learned so much about how to use magic.
Yeah.
And how it can be used for good or bad.
Yeah.
All right, Pithka. We get where you're going with this, but we all know you're fucking with Oswald here.
You can be so mean.
I am of a similar mind to Oswald. I think that we
Really?
know. Yes. Have I not tried of my own accord to
just
restore
like, a few minutes
the
ago
world?
you were talking about, you just wanted to destroy it and all, and now you're.
If he's saying that we could find a person to use this power to restore our world, this is my goal. Have you not seen the obelisks, the farming, all of this has been to save this world. This world is dead.
Oh, see, he's admitting that those evil farming obelisks were him. Remember how upset you were about those, Oswald?
Yeah. Well, I never. Well, he shouldn't be. No, not him. He shouldn't.
I have not suggested that it would be.
I'm glad
All
this
right.
is up to me. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, then it's historically documented how you use your reverse psychology to get what you want.
I only want what is best for people. Clearly. If it is not best for me to have this, then it will not be me. I am tainted by defiling. I know this. I did this willingly to save my city.
All right, well,
But I mean,
let's put a pin in that.
I would say that it could be me, but it'd be selfish of me, and if I'm selfish, I shouldn't be the savior if I'm selfish, because that's not a good quality. It shouldn't be me.
It's okay.
But it should be. I would do it.
Oswald, get
Oswald.
Look, I do actually think you would make a great Evangelion, okay?
Neon Genesis.
Nope. I can promise the ending. I can promise the ending to this story will be better.
I think you would do great. But, I mean, you don't want to have to learn arcane magic, and that's part of how this works.
Well, to learn arcane magic.
I don't.
Maybe your job's not to have the magic, but to make sure that other people are using it the right way.
That's what I want to happen. I want to make
Yeah.
sure everyone's using it in a good way.
I think that's your role.
This is
Well, if
honestly this has been an issue in Tyr. We have learning. We have we're trying a college of magi now that are training those who are gifted in such things. But we do not have anyone
Sounds
who
like Sid's looking at
overlooks
me.
such things yet. It's not a problem, but it could be. So perhaps this is a role you may fill one day.
I don't know, like,
To be the arbiter of what's good and evil.
yeah, because if you think about it, anyone can learn magic. There's lots of people can learn magic, and not all those people are good.
Oswald,
Right.
Oswald, you're a pure soul, and we've traveled together for a long time. And I just want to tell you that when people are put in positions of authority like that, that's how they get corrupted.
But
And I don't want to see. I wouldn't stop you if you wanted to go that route.
yeah, but
I mean,
He
maybe
would
once
just-
you were
he
there,
would
I would
just
try
blow
and
you
stop
up
you.
for even attempting it.
No. I've accidentally blown Oswald up for much smaller than that. And he's been fine, Yenin.
We have all survived.
Lava turd face.
Well, Gideon, you're my friend and everything, but I don't know if I can trust you in these matters because I remember you released an unnatural menace. I remember it's still out there.
And we learned from that, okay? And that tells us that these sort of forces, even if you're going at them with great intentions, can be very dangerous. And even though it's not magic, having that sort of authority over people, that's just as dangerous.
I know what you mean, but at the same time, we lose either way because there has to be an Evangelion to save the world.
A Neon Genesis.
Yeah, there has to be a Neon Genesis to save the world.
No, that's not it.
And maybe they turn evil. Maybe they
like
turn bad, but at least the world will be saved. You know, if the world is saved and a great evil is unleashed, I mean,
Osvald,
we're doomed anyway.
I mean, how much evil's already been released?
you saw the vision of the prophecy. You understand more about this than any of us. Does the person who's elevated have to meet all the 3 criteria, or does it just take the power of arcane magic, druidic magic, and the way?
They have to have all 3 themselves.
They have to have all 3 themselves.
Yeah. So even Yenin isn't good enough.
So it couldn't be me. I'd have to do a lot of studying and everything. Now I'm just now realizing that. So
It's not as easy as we all thought.
yeah.
Look, here's what I think. I think this whole fucking world has worked under the assumption that when there are problems, you need to bring in magic. And you need to fix things with magic. You need powerful figures to come in and just go snap and make everything good. But people have the ability to make things better. We need to take away the people who make us so dependent on magic, on sorcerer kings, on puffs and bangs that kill our enemies and solve our problems and feed us, and work together to make it an actual better world. We can't just hope that by putting some corrupt tyrant in a position of power, they'll go through and make everything better.
Yes.
So
We keep doing that, and it keeps being bullshit.
We must
You
kill
just
all
need
the
to be
power
willing
in
to
the
wait
world
for
and
pragmatic
then
change.
leave everyone to their own devices, because that works out all the time.
You're finally speaking sense.
I don't know if it's my accent, but that was all facetious.
/S.
I would like to not use magic. I see what you're saying, to stop the cycle. I want to stop the
Exactly.
cycle of evil. I want to stop the cycle of power.
If we make this Evangelion, it's just going to end up as another massive tyrant.
Yeah, there
Magic destroyed the world in the first place, and we somehow think that by combining all magic and giving it superpowers, it's gonna fix everything? This is the world we
Yeah,
live
that's
in
kind of how
now.
magic works.
It's pretty impressive. if
Do
you
we
see
have
it.
to decide who the evil jelly man is going to be right now?
I don't.
Can we?
I know I saw it in my vision.
Evil jelly man.
Yeah.
I know I saw it
Does
in
this
my.
have to be determined right now?
I know I saw it in my vision and everything, but Gideon's convinced me. We got to stop the cycle. We can't yield to magic like
Listen,
this. We can't
This
let
is
it.
all a discussion we can have later about who can be the Jim Carrey man or whatever.
Right.
Well, now I'm all for destroying. Destroying this. I've changed my mind once again. Because it may save the world to have a Neon Genesis, but it's just going to happen again. The world's just going to come like this again. There's going to be evil, and it's just going to happen all over again. There's got to be a way to stop it permanently for people to live without magic.
Exactly. We need to teach people to change. We can't just snap our fingers and hope that they'll do something differently.
Yenin walks over, places a hand on Osvald, and says, "Listen, Osvald," and then I'm going to try and cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Let's see.
Uh-oh.
That's let's see. 4,
7.
5, 6, 7. So I'll take. I'll lose that spell and going forward, and just say, "Listen, this is a discussion for another time, my friend. We We will cross this desert when we come to it. But for now, we need to move on and not make any hasty decisions about such things.
Okay, yeah, we have to move on. But, yeah. That's right. Okay, let's move on.
You feel it, don't you?
That feel weird to anybody else?
Feel what? I
He's
don't-
touching you. You've got the magic disease. Well, I guess we gotta spend another few days getting you purged.
No!
No, because when I use my magic to control a person's action, they have no memory of what you had them do, and
I'm not-
bear you no ill will.
I'm not saying because you cast the spell. I'm saying because you touched him.
I have
physically.
I have gloves. I've covered like as much of my body as I can. I don't.
That's true. All you really see is his face.
So I don't have a magic curse.
No, they're.
Okay,
You might.
but I might.
You're gonna.
We gotta play it safe. We
Guys,
gotta.
I feel like emotions are running real hot right now. It's okay.
We gotta play
okay.
it safe. We're gonna have to get rid of this
I
as
know,
soon as
we're
possible.
gonna.
Okay.
It's okay.
And I can't touch anyone just in case.
You don't have to.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
All right.
So, so you know, in the interim, for now you're pretty safe. You have enough time where, at least for a couple of hours, you're going to be left alone. But probably pretty soon, the Sorcerer King Oba is going to start sending forces to this village because. Yenin, actually, as you guys step outside for a moment, Oswald is like, I want to take a minute, and calm down. So as you guys step out of the cave to calm down, you look out and you see just scores of Templars just dead all around the village.
Oh my goodness.
Like high scores?
High scores. Talking about like at the top you see YEN, like
Oh
at the very
man.
top.
Oh.
No, it's YEM because Yenin.
Oh, Yenin Markovich. Does Yenin have a middle name? What's his middle name?
Eduardo.
What's it? I don't.
Elizabeth.
Yeah, it's Yenin,
Yenin Elizabeth
Markovich. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. Can I get a Coke Zero from that fridge?
Yeah.
How tall
Nice.
is it? Because
It's a short board.
If we have some duct tape, I'll duct tape two of them together and then drill a hole.
I should
there you
have
go.
gotten you one of the like the like Arizona iced tea tall boy
Yeah.
kind of things.
There you go.
Totally fit.
All right.
So yeah, the village is safe for now, but probably not for long because
Do not worry.
She's
This
gonna
was
be
all
upset.
druidic magic.
What?
yeah, you can tell it's all druidic magic because the forest is fine.
I just make knowing eye contact with Osvald like
Powerful.
These people meant to do you harm. They meant to kill you and take this altar and do terrible things with it. This is self-defense. I don't like killing people, but it is.
There aren't non-lethal ways to stop them?
yeah. I mean, there was no way to get into this cave without killing a bunch of people. I mean, how did we do it? We must have killed a bunch of people, right? Like, oh wait, no. We made a simple distraction.
I see that this is the way that Yinin does things. That's all I have to say about that.
So you head
We
back into the
did
cave.
murder an entire group of people over dominoes.
All right, they started it.
But yeah.
They were also evil Thor
They were
cream.
also cheating sons of bitches.
They were
Right.
cheap sons of bitches.
Again,
Technically,
the Thor
all
crane.
we did was
You've dealt with the Thor crane. Their numbers are endless. They will keep coming unless we do something to save this world. I'm just saying, we are on the
Yes.
same side.
Should say he or she. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me write that down so I don't forget it.
All right. Well, I think we've all at least agreed that we gotta wait.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Everybody has agreed, without any provocation, that we should wait.
All right. So, do you want to wait in the cave, or do you want to set out?
I feel like one of us should take watch.
So what I kind of want to do is trap the entrance to the
I was
cave.
gonna say, what you gonna read?
Yeah. Like,
But
Is the altar actually
are
inside
we just
this
gonna
cave that we're
seal-
in? Okay.
I mean, assuming that someone goes into the cave, are we just gonna end up sealing someone in the cave?
Okay, actually, what I am gonna do is I'm going to try and, as like discreetly as like I don't want to make it too obviously visible, but I am gonna trap or I'm gonna set up a bomb on the altar as like okay, things have gone belly up. We need like
Kind of your last
a
stand.
last thing we can
Last-
do
last
is just be
resort.
like,
Like the battle of the Alamo.
Yes,
Have
the
you not
Alamo.
heard-
the
Yeah.
Alamo, yeah. I remember the Alamo.
From season 1 of Dark Sun.
Yes. Ah, good
Yeah,
memories.
the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo.
Remember the Alamo. If I remember correctly, the Alamo ties in directly with another story. I can't remember the name of the character, but it was basically a guy wearing a metal mask that walked very slowly.
Yeah,
with
it was a
knife
mask
in
that
his side.
looked a lot like the character Haki, and he was wearing a Haki
Oh, right,
mask.
because it was a hockey mask. Yeah,
That's scary.
Last season sounds silly.
it was very silly. We did that so much. I think the lake was Crystal Lake. But yeah, anyway, so there was a lot of weird things that happened in that session.
Sounds pretty Halloween style.
It was very Halloween style.
Yes.
Yep. I hope everybody's excited for a Halloween style finale.
Are we dressing up
yes.
in costumes?
Well, I guess you
Yes.
could. Yeah. you
We'll
should.
dress up as our characters.
Those of you that make it.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. So yeah, Halloween style. That'll be fun. I'll have to figure out how I'm gonna dress up Halloween style for that. But yeah, we should dress up Halloween style. Maybe I'll just put a pumpkin on my head.
nice.
Pumpkin head.
Pumpkin head.
So
So you want to set up a bomb on the altar?
Yeah.
Okay.
while he's doing that, I'm just gonna kind of use my magic senses, just kind of feel out this thing, see what kind of information I can gather about what it would do. Like, if I wanted to destroy it, what that would take. If I wanted to, use it for my own devices, what that would take.
Yeah. Just get the full range of information.
Yeah, just any
just wanna
information.
know.
Just any information about it, like how I could force somebody who is, psionic to help me in doing this. And,
All of those things.
I'm gonna sit directly across from Yenin while he's doing that,
Okay.
and use my psionic abilities to try to glean as much information as I can get.
Okay.
You're gonna spy on his mind.
Uh,
Can you do that?
I can.
using
awesome.
telepathy.
So yeah, I'm gonna actually.
All right. So Yenin, go ahead and make me either an intelligence or charisma roll.
Okay.
We'll see what you get.
That's jacked. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Yeah, so you think that to use it, you could actually harness someone else's power who might be unwilling. But to destroy it, you actually you wouldn't be able to do that. To destroy it, you would actually have to. The person would actually have to be willing to actually destroy the altar. But you could. You think that harnessing and siphoning their magical power to help you get through the process wouldn't be too difficult for you, especially as a defiler. You've used people as batteries for magic before,
Yeah.
so this would not be a new thing.
Mostly myself, but sometimes other people.
Yeah, but only bad guys.
And the Council of Tyr.
Oh, that's right.
Objectively bad guys, because as we've established,
but
Yeah,
not the
that's-
full council. I left one of them alive.
Yes, you did leave one.
And
of the council
Alyssa
alive.
killed 2 of them anyway, so that was.
Yeah, that was not on you. At least the majority of it was not on you.
Oh, so glad you're on our team.
Yeah.
so
Just exciting.
Well, it's just when we play, I'd like roll and I'd like have a shit roll. And he goes, well, if you suck the life force from this guy and kill him, it'll be a good roll. It's like, oh, this is a clutch moment.
Well, all right.
See, that's the problem with defiling in Dark Sun is it's like, oh, but then I could just succeed instead of failing. I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So that was I mean, I would have done the exact same thing, and I think everyone else at the table would have done so as well, because it sucks seeing double 1s on the table when you're like, well, what if that were double 6s? So you learn all that. You also learn because Yen, you were kind of examining the whole thing. So all of this information that's running inside of his head. Actually, I should make you make a wisdom check to do that.
Ooh.
Oh no!
Oh.
This is going well.
Oh.
You just hear "Walk like the Egyptian" in my head.
Yeah, over and over.
Walk like an Egyptian.
That's
What
the
the
only.
hell is this song coming from?
What does that even mean?
And you don't actually hear the song. You only hear that one line
Over and over and over and over again.
So you also learned that this is kind of a confluence of ley lines, which is what makes this such a powerful place for this altar, and what can actually make this process possible. You notice that these ley lines are connected elsewhere, though. So you think it's entirely possible that there may be more than one of these altars. So even if you did destroy this one, there's a good possibility that there are more out there.
Do you express any of this to the rest of us?
No, I mean I'm just kind of going over. It's about what we thought. It's a person would need to be disciplined in many forms of power in order to harness it. Destroying it will not be as easy as you would like.
And also, anyone that has all that power has druidic magic, arcane magic, and psionic powers. I don't think there is a good person that would have or want that much power.
Who would want that much power?
I think that's
Right.
very wise of you.
Yeah, that's what I've decided. Yeah, Evangelion can't happen.
The evil jellyman?
Yeah.
The evil
Listen,
jelly man.
My friend, who I am in no way still technically controlling because you have not taken damage or I have not turned it off. Everything is as you say and will work out fine, I am sure.
Okay, good.
You seem to
Great,
be in
that's
much
what I want
better
to happen.
spirits.
Yeah,
I'm glad
yeah.
about
I
that.
mean, we still need to get this checked out.
Well, we'll rub some dirt on it later.
Okay, good. Anything
Well,
to
you,
help.
I think actually Yenin has a druidic magic that he could use to heal.
It's
that.
true. It's
He has lesser and I think greater restoration.
yeah, and
It's
I
druidic magic that.
I can also what I'll do is I'll go outside to one of the trees and I will just like kind of hover around a tree and cast Good Berry and cause a berry to grow from this tree. 5, 6, 7,
Nice.
8, 9, 10, yeah. And I don't even touch it. You just see like a very large like fruit growing out of this tree. And I was like, if you eat this, I am sure you will feel better.
Oh, is this like an apple?
You taste it and it's like the last apple you had.
Oh,
where it
this is
completely
delicious.
Oh, you're doing that glow thing again.
I like this and that apple I had. My favorite. Oh, I want to eat this all the time.
You always get to eat the good food.
Yeah, it's like a strawberry. It's huge.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a strawberry that fits in the palm of your hand.
It's an okay berry.
And then you actually see as several more sprout on the tree.
Do I have?
And
You can eat all 5 of them if you want.
I'm gonna just start. I'm gonna pick them all and put them in my pack.
You have 4 more in your pack.
And this is all because of you, because you came to me and spoke of the power of druidic magic, which I had not even considered. Power.
You see how it can be good?
Yes.
It's great.
The only druid I ever met turned into a horrible monster all the time, and it was very disgusting. She did nothing like this.
Yeah, that's true. That was Amy Vorpal. She turned into terrifying creatures.
She invented creatures, and then she's like, you know the chomp chops from Mario? I turned into one of those.
Yeah.
Like, oh god.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's like, that's a creature in Dark Sun, right? I'm like, yeah.
It is now.
I
It
guess
is
so,
now.
yeah.
And then he'd be like, it does acid damage to you. I'm immune to acid. And it's my chomp chomp.
Yep. And because it was Amy, I was like, all right, fine, you're immune to acid.
That's amazing.
So, so yeah, actually, so you set up your bomb, you do your research. You attempt to invade Yenen's mind, but you get the walk like an Egyptian, and it's clearly some sort of psionic defense, because there's no other reason to explain why you wouldn't have been able to invade his mind. So as you rest for a little bit, it actually only takes like an hour before you actually you hear a shout at the end of the tunnel, the cave.
Like the entrance?
Yeah, the entrance to the cave. You hear a shout. I don't remember the name, but it's actually the druid you spoke with in the city, and the druid you spoke with in the city is shouting from the end of the tunnel.
The Lorax?
The Lorax. There we go.
It is the Lorax.
I get up immediately and run towards him.
The Lorax says, "We want this to end in peace. Stop."
I stop.
Oh, well, okay.
Okay.
Wait, who are you talking to? Me?
I'm talking to whoever is in there.
Somebody's in there. Somebody's in there.
I'm talking to you.
It is you.
I'm talking to you.
Oh, okay.
It's us.
I believe
Oswald.
they are speaking about us.
Okay. So,
It seems like you've killed everyone in the village.
I didn't do that. Yen did that.
This village is off limits. No one is allowed to be here. Why are you here?
Look, we know what Lollipoi is trying to do, and it's not
Save
the right
world.
It's not the right path to save the world.
It's true.
I agree in part with you, my friend.
We're not with him.
Everybody shuffles away.
You wish to use the power here to save the world, and I understand this. I have myself used my power to try and do similar things. But the legendary free city of Tyr is...
Oh, I'm so sick of hearing about that place.
I have brought farming back. We grow things. We keep to ourselves.
You
and
say
yet-
this as we're in a forest.
Yeah.
And yet, your master attacks us. Why? Do we not have the same goals? What have we attacked you? No, because your master does not care about such things.
Have we attacked you? You say in a field of dead bodies.
Okay, I don't believe we have attacked the legendary the city of Tyr.
Legendary free city.
We have not. I don't believe that our sorcerer king has attacked you. I've heard nothing like that. And secondly, I'll say that you brag about farming, but that is exactly the type of thing that destroys the earth.
It does not.
No, farming in
Solid
its
counterpoint, buddy.
by its very essence, you're tearing up the earth. Why not hunt and live in balance? Pluck the fruit and vegetables off the trees and hunt the animals of the forest.
There are no forests. We
Well-
are building what we can with what we can.
Maybe-
We are turning desert into farmable land. In the future, yes, we would love to have a forest, but such things take time.
You could have a forest quicker if you would simply submit to her. I'm sure if she was in charge of the city, it would take no time at all. We plant hundreds of trees every day.
I feel like submit was probably
Submit is not
not
something
the
that
best
the legendary
word
free city of Tyr
for
is
this
into.
guy.
At least they don't submit to anybody except Yinin, right?
I was elected. I am incredible. Listen,
Oh, this
if they
whole
don't
thing
want
again.
me, they could vote me out again. They could say something, but there is no complaints. You are the only one who ever complains, and you're not even from Tyr.
You know what? Let's bring this up in the next council meeting, right? Yeah, should we do that? Or is there only one counselor who's alive?
We
Because
dissolved
the
the
rest
council.
were used for horrible defiling magic.
We dissolved the council because it
Yeah,
was
you
Lord
literally
dissolved
the council.
The council was attacked by Bezbeker and many other sorcerer kings, and they died in the battle. This is the narrative we've put out.
This is what is written in the book.
Yes, this is what I and anybody who is still breathing says about the event.
Yeah, it's
Anybody
interesting
who
that you've
said
pushed
that
to create a
different, who
literate
is still breathing,
society
is no
and
longer
give them
breathing.
only books about you.
This is not true. There just weren't that many books. Weren't a lot of books in here.
That's true.
Listen, so
Not a lot of people to read
so
them.
what I have learned is that druidic magic can be good or bad, and so can arcane magic. It depends on the person, but you think anybody has that much power?
Well,
That much-
arcane magic can be good or bad, but defiling is always bad.
Yes, defiling is always bad. You think somebody with that much power would hesitate to defile? Anybody with that much power is going to turn bad. I know this. Why? And also
No,
to get that power.
our Oba is a perfect example of that. She harnesses arcane, druidic, and the powers of the way, and has done nothing but good for the city.
Look, I hate to call you naive, but to a
He
defiler,
doesn't hate to call you that. He revels in it.
It feels like you enjoy calling everyone naive. Is that true?
but look,
That is true.
Okay.
Your Oba has created all these forests, this huge area of life and power, and then is trying to take this enormous next step. How do you know that she won't just pull all the life force from all these trees and all these people and everything and become the most powerful person in the entire world?
You're saying she created life just so that she could later then destroy
I
it?
would not put it past these people.
That's cold.
I mean,
No, she wouldn't do that.
yeah, this again is where we differ in a lot of ways.
I'll say this. It would be, she has been around for a very long time.
Like, would you say like
I would say
700
less,
years?
probably 200 years or so.
I just
She's been around a very long time.
I don't know.
I feel that
there was a book or something.
I don't think so. It's,
Maybe I think it might have been one of you guys' own people who just told me it was like more like 600 years.
it doesn't sound like something anyone from this city would say.
You don't think there could
But
be a
she's-
book,
she's
like a
been
book
in charge.
published by the city, by the Lollipop?
Maybe
All
like
right,
an
fine.
underground newspaper.
That does not count. That is not information.
I failed a spout lore.
So, she's been in charge for 200 years or so. Why would she? That's a very long plan to set in motion for something that, to be honest, this world is dying and getting worse by the day.
You're right, that's
every
always
year-
stopped people from defiling in the past.
But my point is, every year there's less and less water, there's less and less food. Every year is worse. So if that's the case, isn't it worth it to take a chance and to give her the opportunity to revitalize the world? Because to be honest, it can't get much worse.
Well, if
You
there's
know, you had me going until you said it can't get much worse.
It could get worse, I'll admit, but not much worse. Things are bad now. We have the opportunity to make it great again. To make it. That's not.
no, we heard it. It's been said.
Nope, it's there. It's out there.
Did you
God
just
damn
throw
it.
up in your own mouth a little bit?
That was so bad. But we have the ability to create a world which has water and food like existed in the past.
But from everything I'm hearing, she was able, her alone with druidic magic, was able to create this vast forest.
Yes.
How much forest could you create by your own power?
I could create several trees every day.
So why do we need one person to do the work?
Yeah, like a whole team of like
Here's-
smaller,
Because it took her
powerful
200
people.
years to create this forest.
All right, here's my question. We had a world, according to the legends, we had a world with trees and water and green and a sun that was bright.
Yes.
And then the sorcerer kings, the sorcerers, the magic users, they tore it apart and they put us where we are now.
That is true.
And they were more powerful then than they are now because they had a world to tear apart.
That they did have a larger battery at that point. But
And we're recharging that battery,
Okay,
and we somehow
exactly.
think that after years of learning to live as powerful god kings, they will see this brand new world and go, better not fuck it up again.
what if we got rid of all the sorcerer kings?
All right, I'm liking the way you're talking.
Because that is the prophecy. The prophecy is the Evangian is powerful enough to kill each sorcerer king. So the Evangian would be able to just go around and kill every sorcerer king so that they wouldn't be able to perform defiling magic anymore.
So we are just to trust Evangeline Lilly to do all this.
But I mean, there were beings before the Sorcerer Kings, which we've had dealings with. Isn't this just part of a larger cycle? Even if the Evangelion is able to save the world, Sorcerer Kings rose from the death of the champions. Won't something more powerful
The
come
champions
along?
were the Sorcerer Kings. The champions that survived became the Sorcerer Kings.
The only thing that worries me about Poi becoming the Evangelion is that my people, we had a saying that the greatest trick that evil can pull is to convince everyone that it's not there.
Okay.
This is why I've said this.
Nailed it.
That's wise as fuck.
Exactly. This is why we need people like Oswald. People who do not
I'm wise.
see things
16 wisdom.
as we do, who see to the truth of things. We need people who are with conviction, like him.
Okay.
All right.
This
You
is
guys are getting along.
this is an
Get
this,
your hand out of Oswald.
this is an interesting
done
point.
my
I do think that that you do speak some interesting truth, and the sorcerer
King.
knows something. Maybe knows some things, but the point is, she has already decided. The Oba has decided what she is going to do. It is not up to you to decide. I am simply here as a messenger to give you the option, if you would like it, to leave. You are given your freedom. All of you.
Pretty sure we already had that.
Well, but she is granting it to you.
It's not
Oh,
something
yes,
that can be granted.
See,
Well, you are in her territory, so I think that's what she means by that.
I feel like she's not giving us our freedom so much as she's asking us to leave.
I'm
If
just
you'd
saying,
like to look
in
at it
Tyr,
that way.
people just have freedom. I didn't give it to them; they have it. It is something that they have.
All right, shut the fuck up.
Just saying. You come here and you say,
Hey.
Yeah.
There's nobody writing this down, Yenin. We all know how it works.
but
And
there
also,
may.
none of us really knew how to write, so.
I'm just saying
Well,
there may be.
Oswald can write his name.
There may be
Yeah,
statues
and
later,
Gideon
and I
is
want to
not
get it
gonna-
correct.
Not going to copy you down verbatim. I can almost
Well-
guarantee you that.
Yeah, I'm not writing a
A glowing.
glowing report of the Yenin papers.
No. So
Interviews with a Yenin.
the druid says, "Well, she asked that I give you the opportunity because she is fair in all things."
Well, if she's fair, then I say she needs to come and make her case herself.
We won't leave the altar.
Okay, I understand. He leaves the cave and turns around.
I wish we knew of a way to make this all work without doing this. I mean, that would solve everything, but is there a way? Is there a way without? I don't know.
I don't know.
Can you,
Three giant tree ants
You
come
look into
crashing
the
through the
future?
cave at this point. Like three
Yay!
giant trees just come crashing through.
Come on back.
And you also see the druid behind them, the Lorax, coming in to attack.
I don't want to
This
kill
is-
the
I knew
Lorax.
that the Speaker of the Trees wasn't just a nickname.
I know it's kind of blasphemy, but can
There
I
are
get
three
Can I
tweeds.
get a Coke Zero, actually?
Please.
So there are three.
Are you
there
going to
are,
mix it with something? Like,
Yeah. There are
I know, I
three
know.
What is
tweeds.
wrong with you?
I also have a fuck ton of tall
And the
boys today,
Lorax.
so anyone who wants another tall boy, please let me
Well,
know.
I'll go ahead and.
Is anybody?
What do you
in-
want?
Anybody in chat? You want a tall boy?
Yeah.
Chat, tall boys.
Just reach in. Take it.
Chat, you're our favorite tall boys.
Just pour it on the camera.
Thank you.
Maybe next week I'll take a Paul boy. I'll take a tall boy and just pour it out on the table for Chad.
Yeah.
I'm
The
sure
whole
Dom.
thing.
Yep, the entire thing, not just a
Not
little
just a
over.
little-
Literally
Over-
tall boy for our homes
While
on the
we're
outside.
playing,
Yep.
it's gonna be a continuous pour
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
entire 4 hours.
It's gonna be a real slow pour.
It's gonna like fill the room.
Yeah.
Foam party.
That just reminds me for some reason. Do you remember I think the first game of Everyone is John we played where someone's goal was to spike a punch bowl and drink
Oh,
it?
yeah, raspberry punch.
Yeah,
That was Joe.
Yeah, such a weird.
And we just ended up in a country club.
Yeah.
And he leapt over the bar and just grabbed it and spiked the punch and downed it. I was like, great, I'm done.
Yep. I love that game so much, mostly because it gives me the chance to play a character which is a terrible sociopath.
That's
so much
the only character you ever play.
The best moment was when you realized your goal was to steal a ball from a professional athlete, and you were at a sports arena, but it was a UFC fighter, and you realized the only way you could accomplish that by literally ripping off a testicle of this man.
No, I think the best Shawn moment. And by the way, Chad, if you don't know what Everyone is John is, you play like everyone plays the same character, and you're kind of a crazy person who has like one skill per personality, or like two skills per personality.
The rules are available for free
it's-
online.
Yeah, it's like a one-page PDF. Pick it up; it's real good.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
But my favorite Shawn moment is he had a character who had knife skills as one of his things, and had the goal of trying to get into a government building and like give a speech about like bringing down the government. And he's at the front desk and he's trying to talk to security and letting him in. And he goes, "All right, so I'm just gonna talk this guy into like letting me into the building." And I go, "Okay, you have to roll." And like if you don't have a skill, it's really really hard to succeed at a roll. And he goes, "Oh, I have to succeed at this roll." All right, I'm going to use knife skills. He didn't want to kill the guy, but realized his only skill was knife skills. So
It just was so much easier for him to murder everybody, every obstacle that was in his way, than ever talk his way out of it.
I mean, if you're in my shoes, I mean, you have to look at it from my standpoint. I want to accomplish a goal, and there's two options: kill or don't kill, and it's easier to kill. Well, if it's easier to kill, then what am I going to do? Not kill?
Yeah, right?
I don't know.
Anyway, sorry, that was a tangent. Excellent tangent. But
Yeah, everybody is John. You should Google it and pick it up because it's a fun game. So there's the Lorax and 3 treants, which have been buffed by Keeganis. Thank you, Keeganis, for buffing the bads.
Keeg with the tree buffs.
Yeah, this is going to be...
Miracle Grow going on there.
Uh-oh.
Don't forget that thing you wrote down.
yes,
Yeah,
thank
Shawn,
you.
don't forget that thing you wrote.
Are we full
Yeah.
hit points from last
Yeah.
time?
Yes, you're all full because you got a chance to rest.
A pencil.
A pencil. Some kind of pencil. Thank you. All right.
Thrilling.
I know, right? Hold on, guys.
One of you improvisers vamp? Jesus.
Okay, sorry about that.
Hey, what's with those good berries,
Oh
right?
yeah, those good berries. Yeah.
All right,
like,
who's
come
going first?
on. I'll go first.
Okay.
I'm going to project force on the closest tree.
Okay.
Go magic, go.
Go magic, go.
Damn it.
Those 4 good berries you have heal you for 1 HP if you eat them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh nice. I failed that. It's a 6.
Okay, so you attempt to project force on all 3 treants are pretty equidistant, and one of them just throws out a vine, wraps you, pulls you in, and just punches you right in the face.
Oh.
So you're going to take a d12 plus 1 damage.
Fuck.
Do I get armor on that?
You do get armor on this.
D12. So plus.
Yep, plus 1.
Come on. Roll a 1 for me. Roll a 1 for me. Okay.
That's not so bad.
So
Yes.
5 damage,
So
reduced
5
by armor.
damage, so I'll take 1.
All right, who's next? These treants look pretty buff.
Rebuff?
All right, and I'm gonna lob a nade. I'm gonna toss a nade at him, you know?
All right, toss that
Sweet
nade.
nade.
Nader 'em.
Gonna see how
Yeah,
they like
nader 'em.
like some nade.
Nader.
They probably like it okay.
Boy.
That's 6. I'll mark XP.
Yep, mark
You've got
XP. Did you mark XP, Darrel?
electrolytes.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
It's what
And
trees need.
it's what trees need.
What trees need to keep them growing strong?
Electrolytes.
So you actually are going to be, you're going to take -1 forward. So it blows up pretty close to you, so you're not concussed, but but it does. I mean, it definitely messes. You're seeing stars pretty bad, so you're -1 forward on your next roll.
Okay. Does that make sense since I do have black powder empathy?
You do have black powder.
Which just means 3 armor when
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
dealing
but it
with
would be-
explosions,
yeah, but
it still makes sense
it
that
would
I
turn it
would
from a
have that be
concussion
like,
down to.
That's okay.
Yeah, you're like
This happens.
You're like I just got to shake it off. That's how you get rid of a concussion. Shake it off.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Tenna, Yenin,
I'm
Pithka.
gonna. So the Lorax is behind the trees.
Behind the trees. Yep.
the tweets.
The
The
tweets.
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 Yep.
I'm gonna attempt a telekinetic strike to knock him off balance.
Okay.
That's a
Doubles
that's an
today.
8.
Okay.
It would be kind of funny if this whole thing, we found out that like it would very much just save the world.
Would you say yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, but
and
that's-
you're just goading us into like ruining.
Well, but that's part of the whole thing of Dark Sun is it's like how much power are you willing to give somebody to do something which, to this point, there's
Might
been no
save
evidence
the
that anybody
world.
would want to do. Like, because everyone with power in this world is awful.
Can somebody move the dice tray down a little bit, just a touch, a little more, and a little closer to you, Kelsey. There we go. Great. Thank you.
so this is bothering me now.
Yeah, because the map must have
That's
moved.
fine. It looks really It looks really 80s. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
good.
nice. Good.
looks
Field
like
of
Mike
Dreams?
Diva is directing it.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Okay, so you actually hit the druid in the back with a telekinetic strike. Roll your damage.
Oh.
Wow.
Ooh.
Is that a 6?
That's a 6.
Wow, that's
9.
no, it's not a 9.
Scott got a 9.
I rolled a
No.
9.
Guys, that isn't possible on a 6-sided die. I am
You're
not that
just
bright.
You're
but-
not. Your mind isn't expanded enough
Right.
to accept.
Unfortunately, the druid actually, as you hit the Lorax with a psionic strike, what is it called? Telekinetic strike. So you see the druid just starts dripping blood from his nose as you've just damaged his brain on the inside, and he actually retaliates and drops a cloud of green gas all around you. You can make a defy danger to try and jump out of it before it affects you.
Sorry, you didn't want that one.
Yeah,
anyway.
you didn't want that anyway. That wasn't very
Yeah, you want that.
So that's
Seriously,
9.
that's
9. Okay, so roll me
fourth doubles that
2d6
somebody
and take the
rolled
lower of the
this
2.
game.
2.
Okay, so you take 2 damages. It's not reduced by armor. It's just a poison gas.
Gross.
Yeah,
not
so
doing-
you're real hacky now. You're coughing like crazy.
Hacky stone skin.
Hacky stone skin. So Yenin or Tenna?
Yenin turns to Osvald and says, Osvald, if I act now, I can help us, but it will not be druidic magic.
Well, I learned that all magic can be good if it's used in a good way.
Okay,
Go
I
ahead.
cast Fireball. Let's see, so 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Technically it hits, so I will just lose Fireball.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you're fighting trees, can you just use defiling magic? Choose the trees as the target of the
I have let him
defiling?
do that in the past.
Yeah. So that's
I've let him use humans in the past, but the thing is, in the past I let him do it kind of whenever he wanted because there was a very big drawback, which is that when he gets to a certain number of, he was allowed to use defiling a certain number of times, and when he hits that number, he loses his character and becomes bad.
and I was not
Yenin.
aware of that number.
Yeah, I didn't tell him what that number was, so it was like every time it could be, well, maybe this is the time I lose my character.
Yeah. So they take, let's see, 3.
Not much.
Oh, good amount. You have
9.
talent. Yeah.
Because I'm +6 to damage.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, so
I feel like you somehow OP'd season 1 a little bit.
this is actually.
Oh, and this is even like
Yeah,
this
this
is so much more powerful
yeah.
than my character was.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's technically he would be a level 13 character. How I drew him up here, so that's why.
Wow.
That's why it's.
I'm a level 9 wizard, level 4 druid.
Because I noticed Alyssa like pops in for
Oh,
one
she
session
was-
and is like, I do 40 damage. We're like,
She's,
oh.
she's unequivocally broken.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. The gunslinger, which there's a new version, there's an updated version of the gunslinger actually for anybody that plays Dungeon World, and the new version is fine. The old version is not. It was very difficult for me to balance around Alyssa's character. But, lesson learned. I didn't know Dungeon World well enough at the time to really be able to see how bad it was going to get. As I looked at the character sheet, I was like, oh, it's good, but it's not like crazy. And then as you see how the powers all are the talents that you pick as they work together, it's like, oh.
And it's often like,
This is not
pick
good.
another talent from another class that you aren't. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll pick this one that gives me extra damage dice.
Yeah, it was a problem. But, so yeah, you have 3 treants that look somewhat damaged, and a druid that looks somewhat damaged. Tenna Lee.
Okay. Tree bash.
Twee bash.
Oh,
Twee
sorry,
bash.
thank you. Twee bash. All right, I'm going to attack the treant that's already been hit by someone.
Wow.
Yeah, you did.
I hit him so fucking hard. All right.
Damn.
Damn, Tenna Lee. I don't know why I just did that.
I also want to know who said that.
Don't
like,
know. I don't know.
somebody's-
There's a lot of voices that live up here, and sometimes
Hold on, we got a
not
big
all of
one
them make
right here.
sense.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Well,
4
that's
damage?
a shitty roll. Yeah, 4 plus 1 piercing.
I like to think it was the druid we're fighting that said that.
All right, so I do have to let me confirm something here because this donation message is a little confusing, but it is relevant to Tenna Lee's.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn, Gilly.
Oh, vamp, guys, it's time to vamp.
Did you ever notice like how vamp, if you put like 3 more letters on it, it's like vampire? Let's talk about vampire.
He's totally right. Vamp.
Nano machines, guys. Clever plot mechanic or just some bullshit that Kojima did?
You guys notice that vamp rhymes with ramp? We can like jump over things.
Yeah. It's like on a motorcycle.
Like a really sexy woman is sometimes called a vamp.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Is that enough?
It was real good.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
And scene. That donation came in targeted at Tenon.
Got
Wasn't
it.
clear where that was supposed to go.
Yeah. Tenon.
Tenna or Yenin.
Yes.
I cast
them
murder.
combined,
I
it's-
ca-
Yeah. It's
like
the Hollywood.
Gogeta.
Murder.
If we
the
were
Hollywood
a
couple.
celebrity couple, that's
Yeah.
what our name would be.
Yeah.
You guys do the Dragon Ball
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like Gogeta.
Okay, so.
That's who you really
Oh,
form the
that's
Evangelion.
from, Gideon, I think. Hold on.
Okay.
Yes.
That is from Kiganis. Okay, thank
This is
you,
a silly
Kiganis.
fucking episode, guys.
And here's the really good news for you, Tenna Lee.
Oh.
It is for you. You get a Leroy Jenkins and a Soko.
Wow.
So should I roll a d12 again? And
Yeah.
if it's higher than a 4, then I get to use it.
Yeah, then we'll do that instead.
Let's do that instead.
Is it higher?
It's a 6.
6 and plus 1 piercing, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
How does Leroy Jenkins work again?
You get an extra attack.
Never had a
You
Leroy
get to-
Jenkins.
You get to just make an attack right now.
yeah, you
We've
just
had
get-
one. Darrel got
Yeah,
it.
I got a
Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins.
but you do have to say Leroy Jenkins like Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Perfect.
That was good.
That was good.
9 to hit.
Okay, so
I am not holding back today.
no, you are not.
In my
so
insanity.
roll your damage with your Soko.
All right. Well, that is 9 damage plus 1 piercing.
Plus 1 piercing, so that would be. Wow, this one is very badly injured now. But unfortunately, as you run in, it has. You know how trees sometimes have that like hollowed out, inside or whatever, like that's mainly like for scamps to hide in or whatever.
Like Boo Radley.
Like Boo Radley, exactly.
Sure.
It has that.
Boo Radley big.
Yeah, it has that, but so it grabs a hold of you and just stuffs you in that hole.
Oh.
And then you just like get weird piercing vines that just stab you and
just
mangle you
start
as you're
stabbing me on
inside
the
of it.
inside.
Yeah.
Stuffed you in it?
All right.
Yep. So you're stuck in the tree's
Oh,
hidey
man.
hole stomach, and you take a d12 plus 1 damage.
Okay.
You can use your armor for this.
Oh,
All
can
right.
I never assigned bonds.
Oh,
Should I do that?
Yeah, assign your bonds for
All
sure.
right. That was an 11.
Yeah.
So, ow. And that was +1?
Yes,
What'd
a
you
12.
say? Okay.
But you can reduce it by armor.
I'm not afraid of you,
Alright.
motherfucker.
So here's so yeah, let's do that because I totally forgot. I spaced on that. I like the because also I made you, if you care, your race is Ifrit.
Okay.
Which for it?
Ifrit. Yep.
Ifrit.
Ifrit. Yep, that's his race because he is no longer just a human. Yeah, we have bonds. So Yenin is going to talk about his bonds real quick before we do the next round of combat.
I mean, Gideon is afraid of me.
No, I'm not.
I'll give him a reason to be.
Oh my.
I'm not afraid. I'm
I
not
could-
afraid of Yenin.
That's
I'm not
aggressive.
taking that bond. It's
I
not
could-
Yenin.
Rejected.
I could learn how to control my temper from Pithka, and I lost control and hurt Osvald. I must make amends before it happens again.
Oh.
I do like the one that.
And we're cool.
Yeah, and we're just like cool, and we're just like it's
Ted
fine.
and Ted
It's
and
like
cool.
it's like a work relationship. We're like, so
Yeah.
how's your weekend?
Yeah,
Fine.
it's fine.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Oh yeah,
You
well,
like each
me
other,
and
you don't like hang out
Tenna, we
outside of
drank
work.
demon blood and had a vision together.
That's true. We're tight.
Yeah.
What was that?
I don't
by the
know.
way?
I don't know. Crazy night.
we have to. I'm going to force that to be resolved before the end of the season because that is an insane bond.
I also have the bond that Gideon saw me kill someone important, and I feel like they're related.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we definitely woke up from this drug trip. We're like,
the fuck?
that definitely just happened, right?
Yeah.
You remember what I remember, right?
Did you? Because I. Yeah.
Okay, so the druid starts chanting and motioning.
With a sickness that infects the world and must be purged. I think we both know what or who that sickness might be.
So
I can either confirm nor deny.
the druid in the back starts motioning, gesturing. Looks like a pretty big spell that he's making. Yet, and you can tell this is a pretty high level spell. And the 3 treants, one has got Oswald wrapped up with a vine. You're inside the
Inside a tree.
You're inside the tree's scampy hole, and the 3rd treant.
Can we not call it a scampy hole?
Oh, I am definitely calling it a scampy hole.
There's scampi coming out of it, like. Ooh, look at that!
So much garlic.
Delicious.
Look at all that scampi. I mean, listen, if scamps hide in a hole, it's called a scampy hole. Like, what else would you call it?
That's just English.
Just a hole.
That's just how English works. No,
Just
it's
a hole.
It's a scampy hole. So,
I like to call it a hidey hole. It's hiding me.
That's true.
Yeah, in my years as an exterminator, I've seen this a lot. You've got a scampi hole over there.
Oh, looks like you got yourself an infested scampy hole.
That scampy hole's generating a lot of scamps.
luckily, they're all small. You got a lot of strip scampies.
Scamps.
Hey, mister.
They're the little, what are they called?
The shrimp
Bindles.
scampi is delicious. Where'd you get the shrimp
Oh, they're
from?
bindles.
Oh, from the scampi hole in the kitchen.
The shrimp scampi hole.
The shrimp scampi hole.
So
The Evangelion made it.
Yes.
So the 3rd treant goes charging towards you.
You're being saxed.
Towards Yenin. I'm being saxed. Okay, so thank you, Kiganis. Thank you, Fakwad. Thank you, Zener. Is that how you say that?
I swear if you all buffed the
Oh,
Did you just
Zanar.
start humming the
Zanar Faith.
saxophone solo?
Okay, so
You're my
thank you,
favorite right
Fakwad, Zanar Faith, and Kiganis for healing 1 hit point each on Tenna, so 3 hit points total for Tenna.
Hey,
Nice.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for those heals, because she
I
is...
will need
Yeah, she's in a little bit of trouble. That was a big hit. So Yenin, you've got one now in close proximity to you, and then further towards the middle of the field, you have the other 2 treants with Tenna and Oswald, and in the back is the druid.
Okay. How about we cast? Let's cast Cage on this fucking treant.
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Target is held in a cage of magical force. Nothing can get in or out of the cage. The cage remains until I cast another spell or it is dismissed. While the cage is ongoing, the caged creature can hear your thoughts, but cannot leave sight of, and you cannot leave sight of the cage. So, he's a magical cage of force. Traps this guy.
All right. So it's a big cage because these treants are like 10 feet tall.
Which one's trapped?
Sorry. Did you mean the treants or the druid?
The treant. He's coming at me.
Yeah, gotta save yourself first. All right, who's next?
Yeah.
Can I project force on this treant that's grabbing me?
Absolutely. You
Because
just
it
have
doesn't make sense for me to do a physical attack. It's project force
project
is way
force
better.
is better.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah,
project
you can
force.
definitely do that. You have a vine. You have a thorny vine wrapped around your neck.
Don't get too close to it, Osvald.
Okay. Here we go. Yeah, don't get, it pulled me in.
Yeah.
I didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
Remember how like the first 2 or 3 sessions all ended with me being suspended by
By
a
being
tentacle
choked.
around my neck?
Yeah. Clearly, I have some sort of a neck fetish.
That's an 11.
Yeah.
Here comes
good
that
roll.
damage.
Oh yeah.
Do an 8. Do an 8. Do an 8. Do an 8. Okay. That's
Fine, whatever.
4 damage with 3 piercing.
Oh, that's right. You have a lot of piercing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's that
Yeah.
my halberd and that project force give me.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's so you punch through like the thick oak of this thing, no problem. You just punch through its armor. That's a good hit. Okay. Who is next?
Is the
We're
round
back
going
up to
around?
the top.
They were the new ones in the round, so we still have 3 more to go in this round.
Okay, I'm going to run at one of the treants and then just do a jump
glove
punch
punch?
explosion.
All right, exploding right hand glove.
Jump punch explosion!
You sound like an anime kid.
Well, we're fighting for the fate of the Evangelion, so.
Oh God.
7, 8, 9. So, qualified success.
Yeah, qualified success. So in fact, as you go in and jump punch the tree, you successfully do so. Roll your damage.
7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. So you actually so you do the 10 damage to the tree. And are you attacking the one on Osvald or the one on Tenna?
Oswald.
Okay. And you said 10 damage?
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. You went on a crazy drug dream, and they were talking about how close you guys were, and then you just leaving her to die. That's weird.
I know she can handle it. I mean, Oswald can too, but
I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, but as you do that, the tree explodes with a shower of splinters.
Love it.
And you're going to take an equal amount of damage back onto yourself. So you take 10 damage, but you do have your explosion armor.
yeah, I was gonna say. Okay.
Because it clearly wouldn't have happened if it were not for your explosion. So 2 very badly injured treants, 1, and then the druid is also.
The one ant though is locked. In
It's
a
locked
cage.
in a cage, so
I'm
locked in
going.
a closet.
I'm gonna go for the druid, trying to make it a not entirely lethal attack.
Okay.
So that's an 8.
Okay. And this is a telekinetic strike, but you want to try and subdue if possible.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it.
Okay. Roll your damage. Okay. Do not worry. You don't need to worry about overdoing the damage on the druid at this point. So,
Thank you.
not to be a dick, but you're fine for now. I will keep that in mind in the future, and I'll make sure that you don't kill him. But you can roll your,
Why do you want to not kill the druid?
because I think he wants to interrogate the Lorax, maybe, or I don't know.
I guess.
Do
fair
not
enough.
worry. If he dies, I can still question him.
We despise you.
It's helpful. It's good to be able to question people that are dead.
Yeah, that was. I remember when I got that spell, we were like, "Hey, we need to keep these." That was like a thing I would say. It's like, "Listen, I could just kill you and make you tell me, or you could tell me," and they'd be like, "Yeah, that makes sense."
Yeah, that's true. That was a creepy thing when it was like, if you don't answer my questions, I'm just going to murder you and make you tell me. Like, oh no, that's bad. Okay,
But
so
now I do it with druidic magic.
yeah, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Grald would have probably like totally agreed with that. And like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
What's the
no, that
difference?
makes sense.
Yeah, what's the difference?
So they could either be like annoyingly solid, or they can just be ephemeral and ghostly, and same thing.
All right, Tenna Lee.
Okay, I am going to use aggressive tactics.
Okay, as you try and fight out of this thing's belly.
Try to punch out of this tree.
Yeah, the problem is you're just trapped in this scampy hole.
I know. I know. That's a 7.
Okay, so hey.
Not what I wanted on my aggressive tactics.
Yeah, you
How-
wanted a 10 above.
I did want a 10 or above.
Tenna.
I wanted a 10.
Nah.
Does Southern Comfort keep me with?
Yeah, the whole
For
way
the
through.
whole-
But here's an interesting thing that you should know. That talent that you took for aggressive tactics,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
if you roll a 10 or higher, you
I
get to roll that extra damage.
Yeah.
Just so you know, in the future, that option is also available to everyone normally through Hack and Slash. So you could actually open yourself up twice if you wanted to roll an extra 2 dice of damage.
Oh.
So I'm just saying, just so you know, in the future, if you roll a 10
Okay.
plus, you can really
I
open
can
yourself up.
really get them.
Yeah, you can really get 'em.
I like to get them.
Nice.
Are you
roll.
referencing Gravity Falls?
Yes.
All right, we were talking about this last session and no one had seen Gravity Falls, but
10 plus 1
I'm
piercing.
glad that you're on board.
Okay, 10 plus 1 piercing is definitely enough to
So
kill the
good.
first treant.
Ha! I
So
punch
you-
out of his
Yes,
corpse.
yes.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Zenar. So 1 reroll. Is this a table reroll to be shared, or okay? So we have 1 reroll. Set it right in the middle of the table. So there it is, guys. We have a reroll. So remember, in moments of stress, that is there, and someone can use it to reroll.
I
For
say we
a
get to
last
vote.
breath.
I say we get to vote on its use, right? Yeah.
That's good.
Dark Sun doesn't really do
I don't
democracy.
want the reroll, but I will.
But that's,
But it seems to be the most logical
Yeah.
use of the reroll.
and that's the only way you can do it.
You
So,
all voted to give it to me.
thank you, Zenar, for the reroll. You know what? I completely forgot. I'm going to give, courtesy of the Give Me Your Axe from Kiganis and from also Osvald. So around Osvald rise 5 ghostly giants.
Oh.
So Osvald, I'm going to let you roll for them right now as they go charging in on the treant that you're on as they go to try and save you.
Come on, ghost giants.
Ghost giants in the sky.
Do I get to add anything to that?
You add your strength to that.
Oh, okay, it's 7.
Okay, so they hit. And the good news is they're ghosts, and also an army that's not. They're ghosts.
Halloween
I
style.
didn't know there were other times.
No, it turns out they're all 3 old men Wilson.
And luckily, normally I would have the tree trade damage, but that's not you, so you don't have to take this damage. So so just roll your damage.
My damage? So
Yeah,
it's a
your
D8.
damage. They're gonna get your damage, which is real good actually, because you have a lot of piercing.
Do I get? So I get to add that piercing.
Yeah, you
as
do
well?
get to add
Okay,
the
cool.
piercing. Yep.
Awesome.
I mean, they're ghosts. To me, it would make sense that they would have piercing.
It's a 2 with 3 piercing.
I mean, they can just phase through armor, so.
Exactly. They
Yeah.
can just phase right through armor. Also,
Science.
you're not sure why this is, but at the back of the cave, you see a Death Knight come charging in, as well as so 1 Death Knight on a skeletal horse, and then just like 2 regular looking, or not regular, they're Death Knights, so they're
2
not
live
regular.
knights.
Two Death Knights, but they're not, they look a little lighter armored, and they come in swooping on bats. So they come in on giant vampire bats. So the giant vampire bats land, and they all start attacking the druid. So I'm gonna have, you know what, I'm gonna have Yenin roll this one for me. So you can use your highest stat for this attack.
4, 7.
Okay, so roll me a D10 damage for them.
7.
7, so 7 damage on the druid. The druid is looking like it's now in very bad shape after the vampire bats are just clawing and biting at it. The Death Knight on the horse just doesn't get a solid hit, but clips him on the side with a lance. So the Lorax is now very badly injured. So now you do need to worry about maybe accidentally killing the Lorax. And the treant that you attacked is still alive, but it's really starting to crack all over at this point.
I don't think I have any questions left for the Lorax. I'm like, I think we made it pretty clear.
I'm not so interested in questions so much as sending a message back to the lollipop.
Oh, you want to torture him? All right.
No, I don't really want to torture him.
It's
just
about sending a message.
There's something obviously sinister going on, I feel like.
Okay,
I think
so that's
our questions are answered.
all right. So that's the end of the round. The druid does actually successfully cast his spell. So you actually see the druid reach up into the air, and just from outside, this rolling black mist comes into the cave, covering the entire cave from the waist up.
I'm gonna counter that spell.
Okay, go ahead and try.
I'll put up mirror image. 4, 5, 6,
Successfully
7,
counter it.
8, 9, 10. Yep.
So you see this like Lost-style black mist smoke come rolling into the cave. Yenin just reaches up and
No. No, you silly man.
okay, very simple
You were
to the point.
You were fighting a force you couldn't possibly comprehend.
Yeah. So the druid, the druid is like, or the Lorax is like, okay.
Well, crap.
Lorax, don't do it.
All right.
I go through it.
All right. So it's up on you guys again.
I'm attacking the one that's grabbing me.
Yep. Yeah. That noose is tightening. That vine, it's playing neck throat.
Project force. Yeah. Playing next. Okay, it's a 10.
I see you've played Necky Throaty before.
Yep.
So does
Oh.
does
1 damage with 3 piercing.
does
It
counterspell
does do damage, but not enough to kill it.
does counterspell count as me casting a spell?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Going with no.
Yeah, I don't think it would.
No, I mean not like my action this turn, but just in a general sense.
No.
To lose
Okay.
a spell.
No, I don't think so.
Because if I cast a spell, I lose cage. So
Oh, no, I don't think it
Okay.
would. I mean, I would love to kill Cage, but no, it doesn't do it.
he's bulletproof.
Okay, so anybody else want to go?
I'm gonna try to take down the Lorax.
Okay.
Non-lethally.
Non-lethally.
Oh.
Wow,
Nice.
good roll.
I always get those.
Okay, you successfully do. So the Lorax gets knocked out to the ground, and you can tell it's still breathing shallowly. So, yeah, the Lorax is knocked out. So you do still have a treant on its last limbs,
And one in the cage.
and one in the
Who's out?
cage.
Who's still?
It's all three of you.
Oh.
Well, now that I'm out of this twee,
Yep. You busted your way out.
I'm gonna rush at the the one that's not in the cage.
Not in the cage.
Well, you couldn't do anything to the one in
Right.
the cage.
Yep.
And I'm not gonna waste my time trying. So that's a 9.
Okay. So as you go running in, the tree actually it kind of puts up some defensive spikes, and its oak even seems to, the bark thickens up a little bit. So it looks like not only is your attack maybe going to be slightly less effective, it's also gonna stick you as you come running in. So you can pull back and not attack if you want.
Nope.
Okay.
Come at me, bro.
I always feel like these descriptions are wasted on you because you're like, none of this information is going to stop me from.
I'm like, so I will take damage? Great, let's go.
Yeah, you're like, this is information, but it is not going to change my mind.
4 plus 1 piercing.
Okay, the good news is it had 1 hit point left, so
Hey.
so my description's almost
Trying
kind
to
of.
scare me away.
Yeah.
All right, I saved myself it saves me from possibly killing myself by trying to
Which
punch
is
it again.
Which is always good.
But you're
I
gonna
like
take
to do
you're
that.
gonna take a D10 plus 1
a
damage.
D10
Yep.
plus 1 damage. Okay.
Boy,
I'm
3
gonna
damage.
try and parlay with this treant. I've got cage because I can speak to it telepathically and tell it its master is dead. We dispatched it. It saw how easily I just countered it. So just go back into the forest. Let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8. So forget. I don't have the parlay thing on me.
No, that's okay. So it considers what you're saying. And it nods at you.
All right. I dropped the cage.
It moves fairly quickly out of the cave.
That's
Oh,
okay.
wow.
It's up to me.
Yeah, okay. That's great. Okay, cool. So that will be very clear in a moment.
That always makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's always exciting
like
when
the sound
Shawn
of that, yeah.
gets excited about chat.
Okay, so you have the druid lying on the ground,
Well,
and 2 treant corpses that are just smashed to smithereens.
Is anyone particularly
I'll
hurt?
make sure to take some of the jagged tree bark and shove it in my shield.
Yep, you've got some extra tree bark now.
I want to spout lore that that living tree bark, like treant bark, is particularly flammable when you taking off of a dead treant. So I'm gonna save some to use as
extra materials.
extra materials.
Yep. Yep,
And it
for
totally
sure.
is.
Yeah,
Because I know my
treant-
shit when I'm talking about explosives.
Yeah, treant bark is in the explosives community just called accelerant.
Yeah.
It's like steel wool. Like you're
Yeah.
like, why is it burned? But it does. It
No,
really
no.
does.
This is good shit.
I'm gonna search Lorex's body if there's any documents on
Like
it.
dried treant sap.
So you do see the Lorax, like most casters, does keep a spell book and a journal on him.
Okay.
Is,
Look
any,
what I found.
I'll read it.
is anyone hurt?
I mean, I'm
I'm
down
kinda hurt.
9.
I'm at 12 of 19.
I'm at 8,
I'm fine.
but I did the damage to myself.
Right.
Well, I am a
I mean,
level
I still
4
have
druid.
15 hit points. So.
But I am nothing if not a kind sorcerer king. So anyone who will
Prove it, heal
Okay.
us, please.
Let's see. Yeah, so lesser restoration. We'll just go around. Tenna, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you heal 2d8.
Oh,
4, 5, 6, 7.
hey, thanks.
Pithka needs healing. 6, 8, 9. So that's a 9. I'll take a -1 forward. 1 in the 2.
Oh,
2 hit points.
Two
Pithka.
hit Pithka.
That's helpful.
Gideon.
Remember, you still have the good berries too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you want a couple of these? Are real good.
Welcome to Goodberry, home of the Goodberry.
Can I take your order?
All right, and then lesser
Who
restoration.
loves good berries?
That's a 9 again because I'm at -1. So Gideon 6. So 11 for you.
Oh, well, I'll take it.
And are you hurt?
I'm only down 1 hit point.
Okay,
so-
and you've got a good berry if you need one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goodberry's probably good there. So I'm gonna, I'll take the journal from that Oswald has picked up from the thing, and
I am gonna munch on a good berry too.
All right, that puts you up to full. So you have 3 good berries remaining.
I think 4. I picked 5, right?
Yeah, well, you ate 1. That's
Okay,
You
so
ate
there's
the
3
first
left.
one just to like prove to you that it was real, and then you had
Okay.
4 more.
So he's got a spell book too, right?
Yeah, a spell book and a journal.
Can I light the spell book on fire?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, I want to light the spell book on fire.
I approve. We're good.
You're going to allow this? I defer to your judgment in such things.
Oswald, it's magic.
Magic's bad.
But he is a druid.
You saw how he used it to attack us, though.
Yeah, he made trees attack us.
Yes.
I think the world's better without it.
While they're discussing this, I lighted it on fire.
Well, too late now.
Using some of the treant sap so it burns rather quickly.
Listen, Osvald, if you want to be a guardian of the world of magic and walk this path, you should walk the path.
I
Magic
just
that's
don't
gone
know.
is good magic.
I just don't know if the world might be a better place without magic altogether.
Life is full of uncertainty.
Um,
One
so-
must make decisions.
I know. I'm trying to figure this out.
Okay, so
So I'm gonna wake the druid up.
okay, go ahead and roll me a wisdom check.
It's an 8.
Okay, so the druid kind of rouses, and the Lorax blinks his eyes for a minute, and looks at you. Looks very confused.
Hello, friend.
Lorax, we didn't want to kill you because you have much to offer the world.
The Lorax starts convulsing, and his eyelids shut and then open back up as if he's not even in control of his own body at this point. And his entire eyeball is just covered in black. Both of his eyeballs are just covered black. And he just whispers out. You can even you almost see something come out as he whispers, Giganis, and just falls to the ground. And his soul has just been stolen.
Classic.
Yep. Thank you for the donation, Giganis.
Is there?
So
I
you,
apologize in chat to you.
yeah,
Pithka, so-
yeah.
Is there any way that I could?
So he literally stole the druid's soul.
Oh God.
We didn't need it. Let's read his journal.
Yeah.
That's like it.
Well, that didn't work.
What
Let's
bother?
read his
Why not
shit.
set it all on fire? Because that is your default. Set the world on fire.
Yeah, hey, maybe we should.
It's funny insult coming from a sorcerer king.
I'll
Just
fucking do it,
saying.
Yenin.
Just saying.
Tenna is speaking goddamn sense.
So you,
I give
I
Tenna
got
a little
you- I got
high
you
five.
back- I got you
Demon
back,
blood.
Gideon.
Boom!
you both have a star-shaped scar on your head.
Would neither of us really remember how it happened,
No.
but
There's
we
like-
know what caused
We're
it.
like, we know what this is.
And you've got like
And
matching shoulder tattoos that like line up when you stand next to each other.
Yeah.
And I
an
imagine
ancient
there's
language.
just like a faint red light when your
If we
scars
high five
touch.
with
Yeah.
the scars,
Yeah.
it does have like a little bit of a weird glow that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
We both feel like a weird shock happen.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
It's both painful and a little. It feels kind of good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like those little buzzers. It's like getting electrocuted. It feels a little good.
It's like licking a D battery. You're like,
Yeah. Ooh, that was neat.
Let's maybe not do it again right away.
But definitely let's do it again.
You have to wait just long enough to forget a little bit how it felt.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should read the journal.
Okay, so as
Read
you
that journal.
as you flip through the journal, most of it is like most journals. It's mostly bullshit and not worthwhile. But as you get towards the end, the most recent events, it does get pretty interesting. You find some. He alludes to. Apparently, he must have known more about this transformation for the Evangian than he was letting on when he first spoke to you
The
guys.
Evangian?
Yeah, the
Evil
Evangian.
jelly.
The
Oh,
Neon
the even-
Genesis.
Okay, the Neon Genesis.
the Angelina Jolie.
Yeah.
The Angelina Jolie.
Okay, so that thing. He must have known more about it than he was letting on because he seems pretty well informed about it in this journal, and talks about how the increasing number of they're having trouble finding enough civilians to continue the process, and that originally it was easy because people were volunteering, but as the population starts getting lower and lower, people are less willing to sacrifice themselves. So
Yeah,
Of
yeah.
course.
his job is
Of
Because
to
it's
course.
a mass
naturally.
human sacrifices.
Because it's
involved.
always
Of course it is.
It's always with this bullshit and sacrificing.
Yep.
You and I are in the same why?
So the problem
It is cheating.
well the problem. So he actually comes to the conclusion that they can't do it because a mass human sacrifice is inadvisable and also unethical. And she, it seems like in the journal it sounds like he has her convinced of that they can't do this mass human sacrifice, and that they have to find some other way. There has to be some other way to do this. And for years, the forest has been beset by angry spirits, both undead and elemental spirits. And the Oba has been able to keep them at bay through. She has a magical wall that she's built around the city, inside of the forest. And this mud wood wall that she's created has been able to protect the city from these spirits. And so he. This is months ago, so it's not real recent. But they come up with a plan to. Since she's so good at working with the spirits and using her druidic magic for that, they figure out a way to capture the spirits, but not just the spirits that have been attempting to siege the city for so long, but also any newly created spirits. So as people die, naturally or otherwise, they're able to turn that power into a battery for her.
That's cool. This
So
is
instead
super
of-
fucked up.
So instead of people dying and just kind of moving on into Kiganis' realm, and this is what I was alluding to in the beginning of the session, Kiganis, so you have reason to hate this Sorcerer King. Instead of being able to move on to the Deathlight realm to the black like they would normally do, it is impossible for them to do that. They're captured by this net, this magical net that she's
Remember
created.
when you said, hey, maybe we'll just let her do this?
I never said that. Wait, who said that?
Didn't?
Somebody said that at one point, and I was like, yeah, you could.
I would never let a Sorcerer King
There
gain
was
ultimate power.
there was a moment where I know it wasn't you, but there was a moment where a couple people at the table were like, I mean, maybe like,
She's got a forest. She must be good. Let's let her do all herself.
yeah. I'm gonna say it was Darrel.
I was thinking it. I don't think
It's probably me.
at 1 second I thought that, but
I
then
think
it was like,
Darrel had a good, like Oswald had a good progression of his thought. For the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah,
thing,
well, I
right?
mean,
I literally no longer trust my judgment in people, so I just don't know.
that is honestly, that's a good place to be. It's a good place to be. Wait until they act, and if you don't like the action, kill them.
Right. That is my motto.
Yeah, like okay,
I'm gonna
It's a
let
very
you
long
do what
motto.
you're gonna do,
Yeah.
and if I don't like it, I'm gonna kill you.
that's it. Very simple.
This is perfectly reasonable way of thinking.
That's how Yenin thinks.
It is for a fighter.
So yeah, that's what you read in the journal, and it looks like at her main temple, because she is actually the city. I mean, she's considered to be the closest thing to divinity in the world of Athos, because she is the most powerful sorcerer king, and also she's sold it to her people that she is a god.
I have never said I was a god. I've always been a man with power, but a man.
Anyway, that is
I mean, you're lying to yourself, but we've all been in the city.
that it is true. He's never used the word god. So
But I
a
would
man.
not say that you didn't enjoy the worship.
best reaction ever. So anyway, yeah, she. So this net or this magical, focus that she's created is at her main temple in the main city, which is the temple is devoted to worshiping her.
Hey, Gideon, you like blowing things up.
I do like blowing things up.
And this is a sorcerer king who fancies themselves a god who was more than willing to sacrifice untold thousands of people for no reason.
Yenin, look. What you've done to Tyr, even though it may seem good to someone who's bad, who doesn't really think about it, that's what I meant to say, is terrible.
It's all very
But
You're
you
right.
know what?
You're
When
right.
you talk sense, you talk sense.
You're right. I should have left here in the hands of a sorcerer king who was all for slavery, who was sacrificing the
Hey,
people.
you could have left it with the council, but that's neither here nor there.
They elected me. After I said they should not.
Look, We're having a bonding moment, Yenin.
Yeah.
Because we both want to blow up a temple.
Don't spoil it.
You're right.
Yeah. So as you think back to when you were in the town, you actually remember walking by the temple. It didn't strike you as being particularly important at the time because you just assume, oh well, that's probably some sort of, water or earth cleric temple or something. It didn't have like a giant relief of her on the side. It was just a temple. It was very impressive looking, but now you realize, oh, that's a church to her, and not a church for the clerics.
Let's blow it up.
So before you before you leave here, anything you want to do before you go to the city?
I think we should destroy this altar.
I don't think we can. I don't know if we can. It seems like it would take a lot of power to destroy it,
I think
right?
it takes all
let me tell
the
you,
types of power.
You've seen what I have done. I don't think I could destroy this altar.
Could?
FYI, you definitely think you could.
Yeah.
You don't think between the two of us,
I don't.
plus Oswald's tricks.
Perhaps.
Plus explosions.
But I don't know what that would do
Plus these guns.
to the world.
I think we've established that we don't want anyone to have this much power.
Yes, but this is. Gideon would understand it.
So
this
you
is
think,
a powder
you
keg.
think you think
If you light this, it doesn't just go away.
so you looking at this, you don't have
All right.
the level of understanding that he has of this, obviously, and definitely Osvald doesn't either. But looking at it and just kind of knowing the general power of how it is, you know that it is definitely destroyable by the three of you, but you don't know if you would be able to survive it. You think that one of you could die in the process.
This is.
So, Yenin, I think you should know that if we don't destroy this, the Oba will rise to power. She will become the Evangian. She will rain terror down on this earth.
Yes.
Are you like Doom saying this?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's an
Nice.
11.
Yeah, you are.
Not right often, but when you are.
So you
So
actually,
that's,
so you
solid.
actually see you actually see these events coming to pass as he does his doomsaying.
He like projects them into your mind as
Yeah,
he
yeah, and you actually
foresees them.
see these events. It feels very real.
Okay, but I do not like the idea of leaving that temple as well. But if this is the course of action,
You know that. You would know, by the way, that Yenin, if anyone dies from this process, it's not going to be Yenin. It's going to be you or Osvald, because you're the weakest of the three.
The temple is our main objective, but I think that it starts here, getting rid of this, and then we move on to the temple so the souls can.
I agree.
if we must do this, then this is what must be done. And inside my head, I remind myself that I can rebuild it someplace else someday.
So, I don't know. Do I know that? Have they expressed that might kill somebody if we do it?
Either of them would know.
We're having this conversation telepathically.
Yeah.
But you do see a lot of very sharp glances back and forth between the three of them. But then at one point, one of the two of them does let loose that someone could die, and it probably wouldn't be Yenin to go through this process.
Well, my suggestion is that if I keep it trapped, if I set up a pressure plate of some sort. I don't know if I could do.
Your solution is explosives, to be clear.
Well, all right. When all you have is a hammer.
I get it.
Everything's a nail.
I think that if he's going to trap this for her to not be able to use it, I want to discern realities that his bomb actually has enough power.
To kill her?
To
no,
kill
it
her.
does not.
Or
If it
stop
rolled-
the process.
If it rolled, no. If it rolled maximum damage, it would not kill her.
Yeah, you didn't even kill me, and she's more powerful than me.
We were close.
Yeah, it was close for sure. But yeah, it's that's the problem is she could survive a full power blast.
So, if I may lay out my full case, if we go to the temple and she stops us, she rises no matter what. If we destroyed this now, it doesn't, we can still stop her and free the souls, hopefully, but she can't rise to power.
All right.
We are here now. We can do this now.
I don't
we can
know.
live in the present. I'm not a person that lives in the present, but we can do this now, here and now, and guarantee that she can't rise to power.
I'm just saying, I don't want to continue this journey without one of you guys. I don't want to have to rely on Yinin to get things done.
Well, another thing, while
My adventuring days are behind me. Do not worry.
I don't think we're going to rely on Yenin to get things done.
and also,
I have a city to run.
as we're going over there, it's possible that she could come here. She could get by us and come here and then just take it. You know,
You make points.
we have to stop it.
We're here now. Let's do this.
If I have to die, then that was my fate.
Okay. So, so the three of you all sit down at the altar, and Yenin starts scrawling runes on the ground, drawing a circle around the altar with different druidic and arcane runes, and finishes about 2/3 of this circle. And then at that point, you have to kind of feel around, but you can feel kind of where where these runes have been carved and where there's the empty space for you to carve your runes in to do it. And then at that point, Osvald can actually attempt to maintain the concentration to actually destroy the altar. So, so you fill in the psionic runes on your own. I mean, as best as you can. This is
Asbestos?
as best as can, because this is a new process for any of you. This is all just kind of like, oh, I think this will work. I think this is how it's done. Let's find out. And then at that point, Osvald, you can just walk up to the altar, and you think just sitting on the altar and concentrating, you should be able to destroy the magic. Anything you want to say before you do it?
Osvald. Buddy, you don't have to do this. We could take out that statue. We could take out that temple first, and maybe we'd have more time going on this.
She could still get here while we're going over there.
I know, but I don't want to do this without you, man.
I know you don't. I have to do this though. There's no other choice. I don't want to go, but it's better than her getting all the power, getting what she wants. If there's a way to make that never happen, then I want to make it where that can never happen.
Osvald, all my training in the way, and I believe that you will not go.
Okay.
It's not your time. It's not the time for that to happen.
Okay. Well, if I do go, I'll still be here in spirit, and I'll always be with all of you, and I'll make myself known. If just do what I do and sit in silence, and I'll talk to you like,
All right.
the spirits talk to me.
Okay. I think this has been enough. I mean, hey, let's not overdo this, because then if you don't die, we'll all feel like idiots, right?
Nothing's worse than embarrassment over your
Yep.
feelings.
So
Nothing is worse than
so what am I rolling here?
that. Just roll me a wisdom check.
Okay.
A defy danger wisdom.
Is there any way we can aid?
Nope.
That's going to be a 9.
Okay. So you sit down at the altar, and it's not like nothing happens. He just kind of sits there. Eventually, it's kind of like meditation. Eventually, you're able to kind of close yourself off, and then you guys can tell the moment when that happens, because there's a very clear transition. You can tell that he just freezes rock solid, and just stops moving, stops breathing. There's just no movement at all. Eyes closed, and he sits like that for a good hour. And you cannot move him. One, he's big because he's a half giant, but also he just has that dead weight. That it's just like, it's not that he's trying to not be moved. It's just like, wow, he's incredibly heavy and just apparently won't move.
What are you, half giant?
What are you, half giant?
Right.
And
He is.
another hour passes, and Osvald's eyes open up, steps off of the altar, and you notice that the altar doesn't. I mean, it doesn't like crack and explode. It doesn't fall apart. It looks pretty much the same as it did before. I guess you would notice, due to your newfound sorcerer abilities, those magical ley lines that you had sensed before. You can actually feel them retreating in the directions that they go off to.
Do I feel any different? I just feel the same.
You feel the same.
Uh,
You feel exhausted, but I mean, you don't feel like you're in pain or hurt.
did it work?
Osvald, you're back. Because I imagine we're all like off doing our own thing,
I mean,
quietly playing our
pretending
Dark Sun
that-
version
yeah.
of solitaire,
Yeah.
waiting something.
Pretending
will
that there
Everything
isn't
is
this
fine,
creepy
nothing
person
is
just sitting
horrible.
there frozen for 2
Our
hours.
best friend's not gonna die. It's all fine. Everything
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah, because he literally just sits there frozen for 2 hours, basically. No movement at all, no breathing.
I'm hungry.
Do you need to eat those berries? What's going on? Are you okay?
There's 3 berries remaining.
I might eat one of those berries.
There's other food as well.
Okay. Did anything happen? I feel this. I just sat on there and now I've just gotten up.
It looks the same to you.
I have no
I
idea.
guess it doesn't work.
No, it worked. The forces. It is like forces were being drawn in, and now those forces are no longer being drawn.
And nobody died.
Nobody died.
All right, buddy. Let's.
To
Okay.
the temple.
Well, we got this dealt with. Let's go blow up a temple, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure nothing.
I'd gather up
Is
the
gonna happen
bomb
here
stuff
anymore.
that I had set around the altar. Because I guess I
Oh,
don't
of
need
course.
it
Yeah,
anymore.
you're gonna want to use those for later. So you all walk out of the cave.
In that 2 hours, I did write down. I like kind of jotted notes about their side of the circle.
Oh, of
and-
course.
yeah.
Yeah. You take perfect notes of what Pithka wrote down for the psionic type stuff.
Oh, no, I've definitely reset my gloves. since
Yeah,
we
you
were
definitely
playing.
had enough time to take a little rest.
Yeah, I sharpened my sword.
Yep. So you also just punched some rocks for a little bit.
Yeah.
Toughened your knuckles.
Get them nice and calloused, and
Also, every day I take a
But
tiny,
mostly
tiny
bloody.
dose of
Right.
poison so that I can
that's what
slowly grow
calluses
an
are,
immunity.
right? Calluses
do
mean
Main scabs.
when you split them open and then they stop
And
bleeding.
they bleed. Yeah. Yeah. That's calluses.
Right.
Make something bleed and then stop bleeding.
Yeah.
So you all walk out of the cave, and Osvald, being the most exhausted one, is the slowest to leave. And just as you're leaving the cave with everybody in front of you, Osvald, you just hear a brief whisper, and you have heard this voice so many times that at this point it's easy to recognize, and it's Kiganis. And Kiganis tells you, I got you on this one.
Kiganis has just
Thank you.
bought their way into this
Yeah,
world,
yeah.
like heavily.
You have no last season. It went from somebody named Kiganis to full on Kiganis is the god of death.
And a sorcerer king, right?
And a sorcerer
Yeah.
king, 2 separate characters, I think.
Okay, so
He's also celebrated as the god of death in a lot of the other games now.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good.
I quietly
that's
say
hilarious.
It's good to be on
thank you,
brand.
Gideon.
Yeah, it's pretty clear, and Kiganis, there's a tone of voice there where it's like, he's going to collect.
Okay.
I mean, sometimes he'll
A
save
debt
you
he's owed.
just so you die later on that session. anyways.
That's true. That is, yeah. So yeah, you
I'll stay near Osvald since he's tired and weakened.
yeah, good idea.
I don't want to,
but-
leave him vulnerable.
Yeah, he's not vulnerable other than being really tired, exhausted, and mentally drained. But other than that, he's fine.
Nothing that'll affect combat.
So you guys have a few days to travel and camp and travel to get back to the city. So as you get back to the city, though, there's a real change in mood in the city. You notice there are more Templars roaming the streets, patrolling the streets, and the civilians also seem mostly pensive.
Okay, I want
We're
to
back
try
in
and
gold?
immediately,
You're
as
back
soon
in
as we
gold.
like get to goal, I want to try and use like underground connections to get us a series of like Templar outfits, so that we can move around as.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'll try.
Yeah, using your connections.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, and that's a charisma. So that's a 7.
Okay.
So
You have you contact the Veiled Alliance because unfortunately there's not much of an underground here. So you contact the Veiled Alliance, and your Veiled Alliance contact says, "That's kind of, I don't know how comfortable I feel about impersonating Templars. That's kind of, I don't know. That's a little sketchy."
and just so I mean, I'm sure you get it, but it says 7 and 9. You have to settle for something close, or it comes with strings attached.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that seems a little sketchy. I mean, the Templars are generally speaking are just kind of looking out for us. I mean, they're not really trying to.
Sure. Look,
Listen, they got a tough job. Okay.
They have a really tough job.
I understand. We want to be able to move around this city incognito. We need to be able to go where we have to go, and you understand. Look, I understand you guys have operated in the light for a while now, but don't you remember the strange counterintuitive freedom that came from operating without people knowing who you were? We want that. We miss it.
Yeah, being anonymous sounds great actually in some ways. But, oh boy, but this is illegal. I mean,
Hey,
we don't do illegal stuff here.
how long have you been in the Veiled Alliance?
A long time, like 12 years.
Let me teach you.
I'm going to teach him like a tier Veiled Alliance handshake
Okay.
kind of thing. And I'd be like,
Look, you're really learning what it means to be a Veiled Alliance member now, okay? Because it's not about legal or illegal. It's about doing what is best for the people of the city.
Exactly. And most of the time, our goals are going to line up with the OBAs.
Yeah. But when they don't, it's your right. No, it's your duty as a Veiled Alliance member to do what's right, even when those in authority tell you it's not.
How do I know that this is right, though? You're just impersonating Templars. I mean,
I've given up part of my body for the cause.
I show him like the hand
the
that I'm
half
missing.
hand.
And I wanna tell him like I wanna tell him like
I lost this. I lost this for the cause of making things better for people.
Okay,
Gideon
I
kind
don't
of
know
pulls
how-
back his hood, and he's like, "I lost much for this cause." And I do the handshake too because I'm a member of the Tier Veiled Alliance. I've given up.
I feel dirty as I see him do it.
Yeah, it's like I have given up.
But I'm like not gonna
So
fight him
much.
right now.
Right.
You just throw up in your
So
mouth a little bit.
he says,
Sometimes
Okay, I'll
what
be
is
honest.
legal is not what is right.
okay, I'll be honest with you. I can get these for you, but someone's going to die for it.
Who?
My superior in the Veiled Alliance.
What if we could sneak him out of the city?
No, I mean, he won't agree, and he'll
Was
need
there
to be,
anything? Could we do something other than?
he'll need to be out of the
Templars?
way so that we can do that.
Something else we could disguise
He'll
ourselves
be-
as?
He keeps a store of all sorts of things like that, so he has access to them, but he's not going to agree. But if he were gone, then I could do it.
All right. I'm not one to put this task on someone else. Do you need us to take him out?
What about a distraction?
This is as important as, if this is as important as you say it is, then I'm willing to do it.
Perhaps, you know.
Gideon, he doesn't deserve to die for our disguises.
I don't know if you know this, but I can make people do things. Maybe I can
What?
make him do things.
Huh?
I can make people do things.
Oh.
I don't like to do this because it takes away their freedom.
Have you done that?
Not in some time. but
Okay. All right.
It's been a long time.
It's not something I enjoy about the power, which is why we need men like you to watch over men like me.
Oh, that's so selfless of you. Yeah.
Counterbalance.
Yeah.
Must be so difficult to have the burden of being able to make people do what you want them to do.
So you cast Charm Person?
I can, yeah. If we're gonna
On the Templar leader guy?
on the
this
Veiled Alliance leader guy.
Yeah.
Well, so he actually leads you back to the, to his cell leader.
My friend,
I mean, you can try and convince him, but I don't think you'll be able to.
Okay.
He leaves the room and leaves you alone with the leader.
my friend, I'm sorry for what you're about to see, and this time I don't even try and be subtle about it. I grab him by the forehead.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8,
Well,
9,
that's a
10,
good
11,
roll.
12. So yeah, and I just go,
Yeah,
you will
just
give us
walks
what we
in
ask
and-
for. And my voice gets very, very it's very like Gandalf yelling at Bilbo
Right.
in Fellowship. Just very weird voice.
You haven't
I was
asked
going
for
to say
any.
fool of a took, but he
Yeah,
didn't yell
fool-
that at,
I was like,
Bilbo.
Fool of a took!
you will give us access to Templar uniforms.
Okay, yeah, right now. Pulls out
Thank you.
five perfectly fitting Templar uniforms for each of you.
Are you checking out your armband?
What is this? What is
Putting
this?
it on, brushing it
Is
off.
it okay if I ask what this is for?
This is for the Veiled Alliance. You
Okay.
are doing good work here.
Good for the city.
Okay.
These are Halloween costumes.
I don't. I don't.
We're going to a fancy party.
It's a Halloween style party.
Oh, Halloween style. So, will you bring them back, or?
Sure.
If it is possible, we will return them.
You want a deposit?
No. Do you want to give me a deposit?
No, we don't.
Okay, then you don't have to.
Cool.
Nope, fuck that.
I don't bring cash with me. I have people for that now. I don't know how to.
You don't drive. You don't carry your own money.
No.
So you guys have
So-
your uniforms?
I feel like for the first time, I have to take off the bandages that I
Yeah, you
normally
do.
keep around my eyes.
Yeah, because a Templar wouldn't be just wandering around with bandages all over his eyes, I don't think.
And so there's just these milky white eye holes.
Yep.
Can we take markers and draw a little,
A little pupil.
yeah, make them look a little less.
Do glasses exist in this world, or do I need to roll lore for that?
No, glasses would not exist.
What about a helmet with just an eye visor?
Yeah, you could have a visor to shield yourself from the sun.
I guess we'll try that.
work.
So you have so basically you have 4
I'll go over
regular
into,
looking Templars,
the,
and then a 5th one wearing a knight's helmet.
Yeah.
It's got the plume on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, this is all I can find. No one else had any ideas.
It's less suspicious than bandages.
Hey, I did my part and
I'll at
didn't
least
kill a
take the
man.
feather out.
You pull the feather out, so now it's just kind of feather stumps
Yeah.
at the top,
Yeah.
the little jagged quills.
Little
Have-
quill mohawk.
Have we seen any Templars wearing anything like that?
No,
Like-
absolutely
No?
not. No.
Okay,
It's
so
a very uncommon thing to wear.
Maybe there's another answer for
Okay.
this.
Well,
All right, looking
You
around,
just-
guys, maybe wasn't the best idea. Okay.
well, maybe he could just be like a legendary fight. Like he's really good, so he gets to wear whatever helmet he wants. 'cause
Yeah,
he's
I kind of
really
feel like if he's
good.
legendary, people expect to know him, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he was from the other side of the
Inconspicuous.
world. Like he's up and coming legendary.
What if we put bandages back on your head, but put them on your arm too, and then we
Perhaps
can say that you got injured
We keep
by
the bandages on your eyes and then have a stretcher that we are carrying. He's an injured Templar.
something.
I feel like that's
what
a
I
better idea.
Okay.
Than,
Is that not what I just said?
I don't know. My legendary soldier idea.
Oh.
we like it. We like it very much.
Okay.
It's-
Fine, we'll do yours.
Yes, I will clarify that, Zenar, but I will clarify it better later. So you find, I mean, it's easy to find a stretcher, or to make one. It's just cloth and bars. So you've got a stretcher.
Actually laying on a stretcher?
Yep, you got
Stretcher. I hardly know her.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
no.
Every now and then, things end in
Yep. And the thing
And there's
is,
no
that
option.
That joke 99% of the time is no problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just wallow in that for
Let's
a moment.
just
Felt gross.
No, let's move on as fast as
Let's
we can.
wallow in it. Because
Bam.
here's the thing, when a
Felt
joke
gross.
doesn't land, I actually like to wallow in it.
Oh, that's the best time.
Yeah,
That's the
you-
only time you can.
You got to
wallow,
pull
really.
a Carson and just swing and a miss.
Yep.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Okay, so so you guys are carrying the stretcher towards the temple now. Anything you want to grab before you go to the temple?
Are there potions or health potions?
No, there are not health potions. That's definitely not something that are. People do not have access to weapons or potions in the city.
Okay.
It's weird. Everyone has access to everything. And
Oh God.
I mean, he's
Freedom.
not wrong, guys.
it's a legendary free. How are they not free?
It's
Later.
funny. It's funny how often you have to tell people they're free in that city.
I don't tell them. We'll have it. We don't have time for this now. Okay, we don't have time for this.
Okay, so you get to the temple grounds, and it's beautiful. So they've cleared out the trees in this area, and there's just one giant like redwood style tree that they've carved into this temple, and they've shorn all the trees, all the leaves off and everything, so it's bare of any greenery. So it looks like a regular building, but it's carved out of a single piece of wood.
Okay, so maybe let's start like doing a like. All right, we've got to get in there. We've got to get this guy into the temple. He got tree stabbed.
Perhaps.
There's trees in my eyes.
Tree stab.
Perhaps.
Help him.
Perhaps if this is a temple to Lalali Poi, he is a dying man, and his last wish is to die in the presence of whatever.
Whatever.
I don't understand religion. It seems weird.
Where are we heading right now?
To the temple.
To the temple.
The temple of the goddess.
Of the Oba?
Yeah, of Oba.
Let's just travel like we know exactly what we're doing with this stretcher.
And if anybody gets in your way, you'll just shout about.
We'll just be
injured.
like, he is dying. He has been stabbed in the eyes by those crazy people in the cavern.
I'm gonna slice my hand open and wipe my blood all over the bandages and
Yeah.
pick
Okay,
his
you
head.
take one damage.
Okay.
He was attacked by those crazy people who killed all the Templars in the forest.
He's the only survivor.
And I'll scream about surviving and
I must live!
He's delirious.
He wishes to die worshiping Opa.
Oba.
Opa.
Oba, save me! Oba! Oba!
Oh wait, here's the thing. We don't volunteer any of this unless
somebody-
Yeah.
We're not just like, he's headed to the temple.
Yeah.
He's
Excuse me,
gotta
everyone.
reach Oba.
I don't want to be suspicious, but we have an injured man and we need to get in the temple right now.
Look at
he
all
was
the
attacked by
blood.
the people out in the cavern. And
That
wants
would-
to-
He's the only survivor.
That'd be crazy. We'll just walk like we're doing, and then if anyone goes, "Hey, what's going on?" we tell them everything.
And then, he was at the temple. He's the only survivor.
So you guys spend like.
sketch I just wrote for my next show.
I
I might have told you already.
I watched that episode where you talked about the Legos.
Oh yes, that's yep.
So you guys spend like an hour and a half practicing all of this. Like if you've seen that episode of Firefly where Jane has to learn the medical jargon or whatever, it's like so you guys are all practicing your lines and everything. And so you get to the temple grounds. You walk inside the temple, and yeah, no one stops you. No
Yay!
one, they just assume,
No one stops us. No one even asks a little bit because we had a story ready.
Yeah, no one.
We're all
asks.
looking just a little bit too intensely at everyone that we pass. Like,
like,
Yeah.
are you gonna be the
Do you
one that
wanna-
stops us?
Do you want to ask us anything?
he.
Yeah, no, they're just.
Oh, we're just.
Nope. Yeah, literally your Templars.
Hello, fellow Templar. We just go on through. All right.
Yes, we will.
Yep, that's pretty much what happens. Yeah, the only person who looks at you even a little bit is like the one Templar guard, and the Templar guard is like, "Yep, you go on through." Barely even makes eye contact with you.
All right.
Okay, so you make it inside the temple, and
And we win.
No.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's also such a vague we win.
You win.
We won Dungeon World.
One dungeon
I'm gonna
world.
roll to win right now.
Okay, go ahead and roll the win.
I spout lore that we win.
Okay. So you get to the the main area where all the pews and the altar is at. And you can actually, you can actually feel the magical power as you enter this room. On the grounds, it was pretty faint, but as you get inside of this, inside of the main room, it gets very strong, and you can actually feel there's some sort of magical device or something underneath you as you get into this room.
Oh, I want to drain this so bad.
God,
But I'm trying to be better.
trying to be better.
You look a little twitchy, Yen, you all right?
No, I don't think he looks twitchy. I think he looks like he's a flaming lava turd. That's what I think he looks like.
So that moment is gone, I guess. So you see there are people scattered in the pews, just praying to the Oba. And here you do actually see a giant stained glass art of the Lollipoi.
They have art too.
Yeah, they do have art.
Oh.
Do they have subversive art?
Yeah,
Funded
this
by
is
Pithka?
very.
It looks real corporate, though.
This is very corporate
it's
art.
super corporate
Yeah,
art.
it
This
looks
is
it's very
Sorcerer
mainstream.
King art,
Yeah, yeah. It's,
commissioned by a Sorcerer
I don't
King
know, I like it.
for a Sorcerer King.
Hey, you should call him Pitka's punks.
Stained glass. I'd never thought of that.
Yep, that's true. That's
It's
a new thing.
stained with blood.
I don't know what it's stained with, but I will find out.
Yeah, that's a new thing you could do in tier. So yeah, there is a giant stained glass piece of art of the Oba at the very front, and you see a couple of druidic type people wandering around, look like clergy for the city religion. Oh, you also see on both sides at the very end of the room, going back, that it just says clergy access only, and you see 2 doors in the back corners.
Well, sounds like it's time to disguise ourselves as clergy.
Wardrobe change.
So
Anyone?
as Templars, are we clergy?
No, you're not.
No,
Clergy.
Templars are not. Okay, they're not part of the clergy.
No, they're not considered part of the religion.
We'll just do
Templar-
that thing from the 80s where we'll see 2 clergy members and we're like, hey, come here. And then you just hear, and then
And we walk out dressed as clergy. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that's the only answer.
That's exactly
Except Pitka's wearing something backwards because he's
close
blind.
enough. It's fine.
What?
I know. We didn't want to tell you, but you're blind.
You guys, how long has this been going on?
Just to the band.
Not that long. Maybe since you were a child
Yeah.
and you're an
Since
adult
birth.
now? Yeah. Okay.
Since I stole your eyesight at some point, probably. Because I've got that bond I have no idea how to fulfill. Which is that I stole something from Pithka, but he has nothing.
You stole his innocence
Yes.
because somehow he maintained his innocence after being blinded at birth.
And sold to us.
No,
And
that's
told
the
Sorcerer
thing.
King.
Him and Cecilia are gonna hook up in the future, and he knows that Gideon's gonna steal Cecilia from him.
Oh, no!
Oh my god, that would be a crazy future bond.
Dick move, bro. Dick move. Yeah. So you can also feel the. Actually, this is more. This is for both of you guys, for our psionics, for our psionicists. You actually hear voices. Strange, disembodied voices, whispers. You can barely even make out what they're saying.
Do you relay this information?
Me?
I don't.
Okay.
I'm
so
not
you
gonna
hear
say
you hear
anything.
Yeah,
strange,
you-
disembodied
okay.
voices.
Okay.
Yep.
So we
All
gotta
right.
Try to find a way to
So let's
get back there.
So I'm going to casually find like a corner or something and try and just like pop a smoke grenade out. Toss it there.
Use a bomb.
Go back to near the entrance to the clergy room, like the clergy only area. And then when that goes off, we can just like alert people to it. And then when people are, it's worked before. When people are distracted, we can try and duck our way into the clergy only section.
Okay. Make me a dexterity check to try and,
Use that correctly.
yeah, so that you don't botch it.
Come on, baby. Oh no,
So
that's a 5.
we
have a reroll.
Should we use the reroll? This is like, I mean, we've had people.
can I suggest a plan before we
Yeah,
use
yeah.
the roll? So I have an ability called Domino Effect, where I could try to affect things in the immediate area. Although the smoke bomb won't go off exactly as planned, we could potentially create a situation where the pews look like they're on fire and still cause an evacuation, even though it won't cover our entrance.
Well,
Is there like
here's
a place where a bunch of candles are lit?
here's
or
my
something?
question. Can we do the domino? I mean, since like this was a pretty major fuck up.
Yeah, that's the problem. I have to wrinkle this before I can get into the domino effect.
Yeah,
Okay,
like,
I
I
say
think the
then
domino
you-
effect could be a good idea, but like this could be just like I walk over, pull it out, and it immediately starts smoking, and I'm like, oh fuck!
Or nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah?
So yeah, you can
So-
leave it as is, or you can use the
You
reroll.
want to
for
reroll
it.
it?
Let's use the reroll,
Let's use
right?
the
And
reroll.
then we
Go
can
for it.
we can always go with domino effect and just keep everything like really swinging, you know?
Yeah.
Should I roll with different dice? Are we
Those
superstitious? in
those
things?
haven't
No.
been
Those
great
haven't.
today.
I'm gonna roll with my Nerdist school dice.
Okay.
Yeah, those have
have
been
been
good
doing
today.
good.
Those are always, they always did it for me.
There
Wow.
we go.
There we go.
All right, so that
That was
worked.
the
Much
correct
improved.
choice.
Thank you for the reroll. Who gave us the reroll?
Yes, right?
Kiganis gave the reroll, or
Let me find out.
that's okay.
Well, we thank you for the reroll.
reroll.
Zenar gave the
Oh,
reroll.
Zenar.
Zenar, you the man or woman, Zenar.
You the human being.
You the human.
We also don't know if it's a human being.
That's true. It could
You
be.
You
the
the chat member.
you the sentient likely sentient being in chat.
It
I-
could, it
I
could
just
be a
wanna
bot.
say-
It could,
It
just
could be a bot,
I
which
normally-
is why I said likely sentient.
I normally go through over like the next week and like watch the chat interaction to like see what people have been saying. And I want to say that even though Kiganis has done a great job donating a bunch of stuff, we should also just in general say thank you to the other people who are always donating and doing stuff
Yeah.
in chat. 'Cause you guys are great.
Yeah, thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah.
And also just thank you for watching,
Yeah.
because it's super helpful just to have a.
Well, no,
it's
fuck
nice
you
to
for
have-
that.
Well, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, because what are you doing watching these garbage
Yeah,
people?
come on, right?
But it is nice to have like an active chat where people talk about shit. Because we're fun and entertaining and all that, but I mean there are times where we get into a lull. Like for example, we have trouble vamping. And it's good to at least be able to look at chat.
Bam.
Anyway, it's nice to have chat to distract you for a minute while we get shit figured out. So you toss this grenade kind of around the corner, and smoke starts billowing into the room. As you actually toss it and very quickly sit down at a pew. And yeah, you see smoke start billowing into the main room. Do you say anything, or do you wait for them to notice it?
Wait for somebody else to.
I'm gonna wait for it to get a little, like I'm gonna wait for it to really billow up. Like I want it to get to the point where they're like, we need to act right fucking now.
So you're gonna wait for them to notice it.
Yes.
Okay.
But then as soon as they notice it, I help pile on.
Yeah, and increase the
panic
The panic.
mode.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like, oh my god, do you see that? And you're like, fire, 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 fire.
I'll use my lady voice to go, oh no! Will someone please
I
think
do
of the
declare.
children?"
I do declare.
Oh, I do declare.
My schiffer robe is on fire.
So that's exactly how it plays out.
You're like, what's a schiffer robe? I don't know, but it's on fire.
It's on fire!
Yeah, the
I have
bolt-
not been adventuring in some time. You do it differently.
yeah.
We do a lot of stuff differently.
The two clergy members run to
You
the
mean right.
the two clergy
Yes.
members run to the back of the room, and the people in the pews stand up, and they're not sure what to do. Most of them are they kind of like mill together.
It's
in a
best if
clump.
you are
We should evacuate!
Yeah.
So they
Everybody
start.
get out of the building! Get out.
So they start running like kind of towards the smoke, but they don't really know if they want to go in the hallway because the hallway is full of smoke, and the only other way they can run is towards the back where those doors are.
Cool. Can I, wait, the doors that we're trying to get to?
Exactly.
All right, can I toss another smoke grenade to like help herd them in the
So
right
toss
direction?
a grenade like under the pews where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Roll me again.
Why not, right? Let's stick with these dice for a moment. 7, 8, 9. So pretty good.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too bad. So the smoke starts billowing up behind the group as well. So they realize it's just everywhere. So yeah, the crowd just starts bolting towards the front door. What do you do?
I'm gonna say, there's just smoke in the hallway. No fire in there. Go to the hallways.
That is.
That's a very Oswald solution.
Yeah, the people are very confused by that statement. They're just like,
Believe me, watch. I go run in the hallway and I
so
come
you
back
go
out.
running?
And I come back out. See, I'm not hurt.
So you go running and then run back in, and you're
Yeah.
like, I'm
Where
fine.
Go this way.
Where
go
we're
this-
trying to sneak or where they're trying to evacuate?
Where they're trying to evacuate.
Trying to
Okay.
evacuate.
So they all go running, and they're all like, "You should just come with us."
I gotta make sure you're all safe.
I'm
Go,
just gonna
go.
It's the Templar duty to
I'm
get
just
everyone
walking to
evacuated.
the back. I'm not like.
Yeah, no one notices as you walk to the back.
Oswald and I are ushering people out as though we're doing our Templar duty.
Yeah. Yeah.
But guys, we do need to use this distraction to get to the clerical
Yeah.
area.
Slowly,
Yeah,
as
So
most
let's-
people
let's
are
not
gone.
do too good a
we-
job ushering
we
them,
start
our enemies
slowly,
to safety.
yeah.
Yeah. So who's grabbing the stretcher?
Me?
And me. I can do it too. Yeah.
Okay. So you
Oh,
two
I'm
grab
gonna
the
be like,
stretcher.
oh, my friend, keep going through.
We'll get them, don't worry.
So you go running back to the stretcher while everybody else finishes filing
Yeah.
out of the room. Okay. All right. So you go in. Yeah, so you go into the same door Yenin goes in. You go into the right or the left?
Right.
Even odd.
Right.
Okay.
Did you actually pick beforehand
Yeah.
whether it was a hand or weird maze structure?
Yeah, I did. Hey, look, that's
Weird
how I
maze
choose all
structure.
my defiling when he gives me a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
That's how I got into the predicament I am with my
Yeah.
face.
Yeah.
He
With
said
my
you
face.
can do this or not. It's like 50-50 chance. All right, flip a coin.
Yep. Yeah. You became the Two-Face Sorcerer King. Except for it's just one molten magma.
One face.
One
It's
face.
just that he's had
One face,
two
like all
faces.
Sorcerer Kings.
Yeah,
not
one
not
face.
necessarily
But-
two
You're
faces at the
famous
same
for
time.
having one face.
Your face is just worse than most of them.
Right.
I don't know. Have you
Okay.
seen some of them?
Okay. So you
No.
go into the
Not,
back.
not in general, no.
We all follow him, right? Like we're
Yeah, you all get in, no problem. And you dump him out of his stretcher, and he's fine. You're
you
like,
fine?
I'm not actually injured, Tenna.
Oh, right. I'm sorry. I forgot.
Is there another tall boy that I can have?
Yes.
Thank you.
No, he only brought 17.
I have 3 tall boys left. Would you like Tecate or PBR?
Tecate. I don't know, I just can't drink PBR. I think it's just because I'm sorry.
You mean because PBR is amazing and you have a personal...
It's, honestly, it's just that too many hipsters drink it. And that's literally the...
Sean
Listen,
hates
I
Hipster's
get
got
it.
some sense sometimes.
I get it.
I
But
say it was my mustache.
PBR was going to go out of business until hipsters adopted it.
That's true.
That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, that
actually.
is real
They're
true.
saving the economy, one PBR at a time.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing, like, there are a lot of things that hipsters do that are actually fine. It's just because hipsters do them that I'm like, oh, now I can't like this thing. You know, like independent music. It's like, independent music is great, but, oh, man, I just like it less because of you. Anyway, so you see, so there are stairs that go down really far. Like you start walking down the stairs and it's dark. You pull a torch, or cast light, I guess, because you're a wizard or whatever. Or fairy
Whatever.
fire. Yeah,
I'm trying to stick to druidic magic, so
That's-
fairy fire.
yeah. So he does not cast light; he casts fairy fire. That's a good difference. See, as you go down,
I just light a little torch with some of the wood used from.
yep. So you have an open flame next to your jacket.
I feel
As
no
always.
need to have extra light down here.
Good. Yeah.
You're like, I don't see what the point is.
This is just the same. So as you get down, it is really deep underground. So you go down like 3 flights of stairs, which feels like about 3 stories. And so you're deep underground. It's quite a bit cooler now. And you see a bunch of tunnels, like we see a large circular room, and you see just directly across from you another doorway that you assume just goes to the door on the left that you went through. So both doors actually lead down into here. And you see a bunch of passageways leading off. This is clearly where they bury their dead, because you see a lot of skeletons and wrapped bodies and stuff in the walls, kind of the underground tombs, essentially, is what this is. And then you also see in the center of the room a huge disc that's just sitting on. There's a base, and then just a pole, and then like a circular thing like this that's just holding a giant black disc. And you can tell that this, like as you look at it, it has all of that magic that you were feeling, Yenin, is concentrated within this thing. No question about it. At this moment, Osvald, your giant allies actually return. Those 5 ghostly allies that you had before, that Xenar gave you. They actually look at you and they salute you, and they call you Har.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
I swear, all your giant names sound like people just stuttering.
They say Har. We are stuck here. We cannot leave. We want to go to rest, but we can't rest.
How can I let you rest? What can I do?
Stop what the Oba is doing.
I will.
She's trapping us all. All of our spirits are trapped. We can't rest. We can't go to the black.
Are you trapped in the? Does that disc have anything to do with it?
Probably.
That is yes. That's it. That is exactly why we're here.
Yenin can actually see and hear what's happening this entire time, and he's like, yes.
Yes, that's what's going on. Yeah, actually, this time the rest of the party can see them.
Oh.
And we're all like, what the fuck?
Told you.
I believed you the whole time.
Thank you.
That's true. That's true. Tenna was on record as being in belief of it.
Yep.
So we should destroy that disc. We have to destroy that disc so my friends can rest in the afterlife.
She has. If she is. She's evil. What she's doing is so wrong.
I knew she had to be. She's too powerful. Of course she'd be evil.
Okay. So anyone who's powerful is evil now. Got it.
God, I'm so glad everyone is coming around to what I've been thinking.
I just like how Osvald just keeps coming up with these hard and fast rules.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone powerful is bad now.
And then in a couple of sessions, we'll everyone. Sometimes people who are powerful are good.
Right.
Power can be used for good or evil?
So anyway.
No, power's bad.
Yeah, well.
With you, buddy.
Okay.
Jordan, Gideon's never gonna. He wants you to stay exactly where you're at right now. Yeah, so they kind of flinch and they're like, yeah, she's powerful and she's bad.
They're like, we don't need to get into a philosophical discussion right now. We're dead.
Yeah. Also, it's much more important if he destroys this thing. They're like, you know what? Let's let him believe whatever, as long as it gets us released from the unending torture of not being able to die.
Right.
And they say for months now, she's been trapping souls and even taking souls that already existed, so that she can power some. I don't know what she's exactly trying to do, but she's using this power for some sort of a magical spell, and she's using us for it.
Will explosives destroy this?
We are just so simpatico right now.
I think maybe this will be, no offense to how powerful your explosives will be, but I think magical problems sometimes need magical solutions.
I think that's better.
Okay.
This is a situation where you're going to need arcane magic to destroy this.
Okay. Well, arcane magic is being used for good here, so let's do it.
Also, just this is separate from this. If you can solve this, then we'll be able to rest, which is good. But I think we need vengeance. you can't imagine the amount of pain that we've gone through. Not just us, but all of the other souls that have been trying to go to rest. We've been through agonizing pain for months now. We're being tortured as she pulls our life force out of our souls to use it as a battery.
So they want us to kill
And
the
we
lolly
cannot
boy.
and we cannot die.
You will have your revenge. She will pay for this.
I don't know if it's possible because they keep saying that she's a god.
God
But-
is dead.
All right, Christopher Hitchens.
Perhaps
That's a Nietzsche quote, so...
Yeah, I know.
Perhaps
What if
there were
Nietzsche-
gods
Nietzsche-
at one point, but they are gone.
What if
Yes.
They have left.
What if we could prevent you from ever having been, or having to have been captured? Would that?
Your tenses
You're-
are
That
getting
would
very
be-
confusing here.
That would
You're-
be amazing, but
What
I
if
don't
we
understand
could-
that that's possible.
I mean, what if we could, after she's set up the net, within a few minutes of her setting it up, prevent her from destroy the net at that point?
Are you saying we
so
go
that
back
you would
in
have?
time?
I'm suggesting that I take Yenin through the way, and we destroyed the net shortly after it was created, so none of these souls suffered.
You guys can...
That sounds amazing. That sounds great.
I've not heard of such things being possible.
Yeah, it sounds like bullshit to me.
I
A little
believe.
worried that he's learning about this.
I believe that I could, if I connect myself to the way, that I could carry him back through time if he's willing,
But wait,
and destroy it before any of the souls were captured.
if that happens, do you still need vengeance?
Well, that's where I was going with
Oh,
this.
okay, because I'm confused
well-
on that part.
Well, no, I don't.
If you were
I
never
don't
tortured.
think I need vengeance. No.
I mean, we
I
would.
think the world will be better if you can remove her, but
Okay.
I
but-
think we would
but the
still
amount of-
endeavor to talk to her, but if we could reduce your suffering in any way.
well, and
I
not
don't
just
know.
ours. You'd be able to reduce the suffering of thousands.
Wait, all those Templars that died in front of that cave.
That was him.
Yeah, but we didn't really see what happened to their souls after they died.
Oh, their souls are absolutely here.
Did she take them?
They're trapped here.
Takes all souls.
I mean, you kind of gave them to her. Let's be
I
real.
didn't know she was stealing souls.
Oh, you couldn't have figured it out? There was a huge sacrifice out in front of the building.
Well, there was only one sacrifice out in front.
It was gruesome, though.
It was. I will give you that.
I
I
think
didn't see it, but I assume.
I think that means if I died, I'd be trapped here too.
Yeah.
Well, yes, you would.
That's why we're not going to let that happen. We're going to release these people, and then we're going to kill the lollipoi.
Okay.
Can I ask,
And any other sorcerer king who gets in our way.
how is it even possible that you could traverse backwards in time? That doesn't make any sense.
I wasn't fighting for that path of...
I mean, this is. I believe my gift in the way. I could concentrate hard enough and potentially go back to a point after it was recently created where we wouldn't run into the lollipoi.
We just need a tank of salt water that's light proof. Sensory deprivation.
Yeah, I get it. You're
It's
going Stranger Things here?
Yeah, slash
They have
fringe.
Yeah.
Oh.
All of that.
Yeah, you can give it a shot.
Will you go if I can do it?
I will go just to see what the hell you were talking about.
I believe Pithka. You
Ah.
can do
All
it.
right.
I don't know if I believe Pithka
I
this.
believe
Oh, come on.
So I grab a hold of Yenin, and we can go up to 10 years into the past.
Up to 1 minute into the future, or up to 10 years in the past. Yeah, so you only need to go back a few months.
Fuck.
So
but
I'll
you need to
take.
choose one.
I'll
Fuck
lose
does this
3
come
hit
from?
points.
Okay. So yeah, he
So it's
will-
just the two of you, though, right?
Yeah, I mean Yenin's the only one I'm taking back because we can only
Yeah.
be there for.
yeah
Moments.
Okay.
actually. Yeah. If you roll a 10 plus, you can be there for up to
For an hour, but I think moments is enough.
It's
to-
enough. Yeah. So you're gonna.
I'm
take
gonna
3 hit
lose
points?
3 hit points.
Okay. Yeah, this is a wild psionic manifestation. This is the first time that he's used it. In fact, the way it works, kind of like narratively, is moments before this, he didn't even know he was capable of doing it. So really, he's discovering his capability of doing it almost as soon as he's telling you about it.
Well, and really what it is that I am just convinced that after seeing what happened with the way, that this is an avenue that is open, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can do this.
Yeah. So you grab a hold of Yenin. He just, with his bandaged eyes, just looks directly into your eyes, strangely, and you can actually feel the eye contact, even though the eyes aren't there. And then immediately they both just disappear.
Whoa. See? I knew he could do it.
What the fuck?
Okay, so you are, so you're teleported back into the exact same physical position that you're in. So you're in the exact same place. The room looks. So you teleport back right after this was created. So you see this disc. You see the room. The room looks more or less the same. Nobody down here, and you see the disc in front of you. In fact, to you two, actually what it looks like is that those three disappeared.
Okay, Yenin, do the thing.
All right, so I've got moments. I want to, so my initial thing is I'll probably just have to end up like dispelling magic, but you tell me if what I want to do is possible.
Okay.
To tamper with this thing so that it works the way she set it up to for up until we get to the moment in the present where we were, where I can basically open the floodgates and have all the souls that were trapped within release and go after her.
Could you build like a trigger word into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they've still all been tortured.
Yeah, but now they
But
want
they're
vengeance.
pissed.
Yeah, they're pissed.
So really,
I'm
yeah,
out
like,
of character suggesting that a trigger word would be the way to, because I'm against the idea.
Yeah.
right.
Character.
But that is so. Yeah, that would be So I think a combination of, you have the spells necessary to do that. Between I think alarm, antipathy, dispel magic,
Dominate.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, between all of those. So obviously you'll be required to defile.
Oh
for
yeah,
this.
obviously.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as long as you defile, then it's no problem.
Oswald's not there to see it.
Yeah,
so.
Oswald can't see it. So.
I have moments back in the past. So
11.
9, 10, 11. Yeah.
So I will say that if he's defiling in the past, when we walked up to the temple, all of the trees were clearly, all of the trees around it, we noticed were wilting.
Yeah, so actually, so you notice that, you remember how I mentioned that the building, like all the leaves and stuff had been shorn off? It actually looks like the leaves had been burned off of this building. And all of the, just the entire grounds, most of the foliage had been burned off. As you were walking in, you noticed this. And you've seen, all of you have had some experience with, defiling magic in your life, where you've seen somebody else do it, or you've come across grounds that have been defiled. So defiling magic was definitely performed here. So you know that as you're walking into the temple, everything happens just as it did.
I hate this guy.
You get down into the, clearly Lily Poi must be lying about her druidic tradition, because...
Wait, we know that they went back in time, right?
Not when we were walking into the temple.
Not when you were walking
Yeah,
into the
so
temple.
Okay, we
seems
didn't
like
know
it
that
was-
then. All right.
Yeah,
It
so...
seems like
fair
it's
enough.
always like that.
That
Yeah.
it
Exactly, yeah. So it's
All
just
right,
kind
well, I
of
guess-
it's a retcon.
Well, I never questioned that
That she was bad.
that she was using
Sure.
defiling magic.
Yeah, because powerful people are bad.
That's what we've learned.
So
Power corrupts.
you very easily, you're very easily able to set that up. So you're not able to reduce any of the suffering of these souls, but you are able to create a lot of anger in them.
Do you tell them that that's the plan, or can you maybe not even communicate?
Well,
with
no,
them?
he just
don't have
has a
this
trigger
is-
word set up to
This
have all the
is-
souls come out when he says it.
Okay.
And I'm going to be honest, I don't think there's any way Pithka knows that he did that.
It's way beyond your
It's
understanding.
way beyond my understanding of magic.
But you did
Yeah.
just take Yenin back and give him free reign, do whatever the fuck in the
He's like,
past.
fix
so.
this shit.
Yeah. So just 3 seconds Actually, no. It's literally only a second that you see them disappear and then pop back into existence. So they're gone. Just it's like that, and then they're back. Like blink, and you could almost missed it. You still see the disc there.
Are his ghost pals there?
Yeah.
And I go, I didn't have enough time to prevent what happened to you, but I've given you the means to make right what happened. And then I speak the sort of magical words, and basically I imagine sort of like the flood of undead from Return of the King now. Just
Yep. I feel like it's been referenced a few times already.
Yeah, exactly. You just see the ghosts and spirits just flooding like crazy into the city, just all throughout the city, overwhelming the Templars, overwhelming even the palace grounds.
We've released our own legion of undead.
Yeah, again. So these spirits are just tearing through all the Templars of the city. They do seem to be leaving the civilians alone and focusing on the structure of Lalali and her city that she's built. There's a lot of resistance from her Templars and druids, but it's not enough, and they end up having to fall back to the temple grounds. So at this point, her city is under siege by you and by a legion of ghosts. So you have an army of undead helping you. Leading the charge are Keganis' forces. Slight as they are this time, just the two vampire bat riders and the Death Knight. They're kind of leading the charge of the ghosts into the grounds of Lalali. And you actually, as you look around, you see it's built. It's almost like it's like a very I can't remember what those wide trees are called that you see like in Africa. But anyway, it's one of those, and she's just cut off the top of it, and it's flat. And you actually see her at the top, just gesticulating madly, and you actually see her gesturing to the skies, and you see the clouds darkening, and you start to see lightning. And very strange for you guys, you actually feel rain. You actually feel drops of water falling on you as you stand in front of these palace grounds ready to start the siege. So that's where we'll pick it up next week.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Give yourselves 3 XP. I don't know if that's enough for anybody to level.
I think that's what I needed.
Definitely not enough for Yenin.
See, I need, let's see, what's 7 plus level? So I need
20.
7 plus level. I need 12, and I've got 14, so it's 2 left. It's level 6.
17 to go for Yenin.
Yeah.
And then he'll get to take another level in whatever he wants.
Yeah.
When do we
Probably
get
psionics.
When do we get stat bonuses?
It's every other level.
And
So
I do
think
kind of
I'm
have.
behind on stat bonuses.
3 and 5.
I mean,
3, 5, 7,
Yenen's
9.
already a little psionic. He can.
So I
mind
should have
wipe.
gotten one at 5. I did not.
There you go. 3, 5, 7, 9.
I've got
So
that
what is it? We
mind
add
wipe
2 to
ability,
1?
so-
No, add 1. Just 1.
Said 1.
Oh, at
1 to
5,
8.
we
3,
get one?
5, 7, and 9. You get
Oh
to
man,
add. You get
okay,
to be
so I
plus
get
1.
one too.
Yep.
And
Yeah, Yenen's a good guy though, guys, right?
what's the plus one?
The plus 1 point is
it
at 12.
It's at 12.
Yeah, and then it goes
So
up
like
to
Well,
plus
12
2
actual
at
number.
16.
12 says plus 0, though, and 13 says plus 1.
See, I like to think Yenen realized that you can't
I think
really
you-
Oh, yeah,
change
you're
time.
right. Oh, why
So
does yours
is
say
it
plus 1?
13?
History
Oh,
is
it
written.
might
Are
be
they
different.
different?
You
It might
can't
be
change
different
it.
for
For
each
classes?
So all you
class.
can do is be doomed to
Could
repeat
be.
what happened. So he was like, look, they're already
mine says
suffering. I
13
can't
plus
change
1
that.
And 12 plus
0.
0.
Yeah, I think 12 is plus 0. Yeah, we'll just keep
13
yours
plus
how
1,
it is.
12 is plus
I mean, that's
0.
not going to affect anything this time.
So what's plus 3? How do you?
Plus 3 is 18. Once you
Okay.
get to 18, it's
That's
plus 3.
18. You'll notice I have 2 of those.
Yeah.
So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Does anybody want to resolve bonds or alignments or anything like that?
I feel like I can settle a conflict through understanding
Yeah?
with the ghosts.
Yeah.
It didn't really work out the way I planned, but
That doesn't matter. It still got settled.
Yeah.
I don't know if this will count. Do the right thing when it hurts the greater good. with what Gideon convinced me with to what I thought it kind of did hurt the greater good.
Yeah, I
Maybe.
think that's
Okay.
because the thing
Because
is,
of my
I think that
vision.
totally works,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, and the greater good is it's a subjective thing.
Did-
So if your character is having like trouble ethically with that, then I think that counts.
Yeah, because you definitely had like a shift in your mental
Yeah.
feelings about that.
Yeah.
Because I thought,
Is-
that would definitely
is
save
it-
it. But
Do undead ghosts count as some sort of element?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, then I
Yeah.
definitely helped an element font erupt in the heart of civilization.
Yeah, yeah, sure, that counts. Yeah, that's one where I want to be a little more flexible because you're not really like a true sorcerer that focuses on elemental stuff. So, yeah, you erupted a bunch of angry ghosts into
The heart of
yeah,
civilization.
into Golg. So that was good.
No, it was chaotic.
Oh right, yeah. That was good, right? That's a very good aligned thing to do.
Just throw ghosts
yeah.
at people.
I do like I really like how you're like, all right, let's do this whole time travel thing to like ease the suffering of all these people, and Yenen's like, fuck that. All right, here's what we're gonna do.
Yenen's not convinced. Like I was
Plan B.
telling Chet, Yenen's not convinced he could have changed the
No,
name.
Yeah,
we,
no, I
we get
understand.
it. You're evil.
He's not. That's the thing, though. Yenen is not clearly evil. He's also not
I'm
good.
He's not
So
good.
clearly not
But-
good.
Yeah, but it's one of those
He's
things.
definitely not good. That's the thing. He's not. But he's not evil.
Yeah, it's
Well,
that's
and-
the whole thing with a character like that. Is it's like, well, he's willing to do terrible things so
Come
that
on,
people can be in a good
Yeah.
situation.
Well, narratively, that was very satisfactory for me.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
As far as leveling up, I don't have any bonds or alignments I need to resolve. Because I still don't think I've shifted danger or blame from myself.
So you're gonna take
Actively.
that, probably.
Well, explosive boots I really want to take.
Yeah, that's the next one, right?
That's what you've been waiting
Yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. But there's also Master Bomber, which I realize I've basically been playing as though I have, even though
What is that?
I don't, which is requires bomber. You are an expert at manufacturing your own pipe bombs with clockwork flintlock detonators. You also know how to set flintlock detonators as traps or triggers in various ingenious ways. And we've kind of been using it
Yeah,
that
but the way I do it is you have to roll and then it goes off more or less when planned. Whereas I think that would no longer be a more or less situation. If you had
it
that
seems
talent,
like it's
it
a
would,
pretty precision kind
Yeah,
of thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
I
with
would
that
say
it would
you,
be like, no, it goes off when you
you
want
have
it,
an
period.
idea that like this is what I want to happen, and sometimes
And also-
that happens.
And
That's
flintlock
more
bombs
fun.
only do 2d8 damage, which seems like a little more of a precision strike kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Um,
And
but even
it's more fun that you're not always sure.
well,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, also for me, it's like even though like it's never been like I want to attack that guy, and you're like you're too far away, you can't get to him.
yeah.
For flavor reasons, I want to launch at them with explosive boots, right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, there have been times where I'm like, well, where I'm kind of like, well, I'm trying to think of a way to like, put this character in a tough situation. But the nice thing about Dungeon World is once you have that talent, it's like, oh, well, now I can start putting you in that tough situation and everyone else, and you're just going to be the only one who can get out of it. So it's like, oh, okay, now I'm just going to introduce new wrinkles that only you can avoid with
As
explosive
I like
or something
danger.
like that.
Well, you know what's gonna happen. I'm telling you how my character is gonna fucking die. I'm gonna be like, all right, I take my explosive boots and I launch from here to there, and then I hit the guy and I punch him with the thing. You're like, great. You take 1d4 damage from the explosive boots, and then you take your full damage from the punch. I'm like, great, I'm dead.
That is the full amount of hit
Here's the
points.
thing: you're not a seer. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah,
So you'll never know.
you're really encroaching on Scott's.
All right, I'm
Scott's
taking
stuff.
it though. Explosive boots is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
no,
should- you should
agreed.
take
Agreed
it.
that you should take
You
it.
should take it.
You're just assuming
uh,
that my character won't kill your character at some point.
Wow.
I mean, I
I don't
don't.
know that we all are assuming.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Boy, Yenen is going to just do something like no longer borderline evil, but just evil and kill your character or somebody else. And that's going to be the point where like things tip, where it's like, okay, the people were like okay with it before, but then it's like, you killed this one person.
Sometimes you gotta play the villain, guys.
I just
Sometimes you gotta play the
think
villain.
if I die, I at least expect to go. with a
And
bang.
sometimes it's
of course.
morally
You better.
ambiguous villain.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, like Yenin is not a villain so much as he is a like an anti-hero
He's the
focused on the
wild
anti-hero.
card.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's an anti-hero because he did save the city. He's done nothing but good things for people. Like, there's been he's done
It's easier to do it the wrong way.
exactly. That's the problem. Because it's like, well, he maybe could have done everything that he did being completely ethical, but when faced with the choice, every single time he's like, well, I'm gonna make the easier decision here, and he just always made the easier choice.
easy hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes it's just easier to kill.
Yeah.
It's easier to stab the guard instead of try to
I
get
get it.
convinced that they should let you in. You know.
Yeah. That's kind of D&D in a nutshell, though. It's like 90% of the time when the party could probably have like negotiated their way in, they're like, let's just kill the guards. You know.
Yeah.
And now we're just extending that to, oh, he's the leader of a city. So what happens if you put a D&D character in charge of an entire city? Well, they're going to make D&D character type decisions, which is like, well, the easier thing is if I just kill him, so I'm just going to kill him.
Well, I just want to throw this out there. I think I've mentioned it in an earlier session, but I have one ability I could take, which is called Sick Burn, which doesn't seem to give me any real advantage.
It's not a great
It's just
talent.
called Sick
It's
Burn.
just that if I roll a 10+, like when I insult an NPC, they just have to take it.
Yeah.
Like they have to take it like a bitch. That's basically how it works. But if I roll a 7 and a 9, I've crossed a line and they will eventually seek revenge.
Yeah.
And then if I get below that, they attack me.
Just right then and there.
So like all this ability does is like possibly set me up to have enemies.
Oh my god, it's so amazing.
You already do such a good job of setting
Yeah.
yourself up to
Yeah.
have enemies.
Yeah. This is
Which is
just
why it
one of
makes
those
sense
things
as
that
an ability,
doesn't-
right?
Yeah. This is just like enforces
You don't
it
need
mechanically.
ability.
But yeah, that's honestly 90% of that is stuff that was on the original play sheet, and I cobbled together some other stuff. But like 90% of it is from the original idea, and man, it is such a fun class.
Yeah.
Like if you play Dungeon World at home, that is the first class you've got to play. I like the fighter, or I like my fighter, I guess, that I created there. This one is fun, but it was too difficult to make because it's like I use like 3 different classes for yours. There's not a good psionic in Dungeon World.
Well, and this one's
No.
tough because I play it like it's all about information.
Yeah.
Which is not what Dungeon World is designed for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all improvised. Here's the thing. That's somebody's got to make a good psionic class for Dungeon World because that's what really is missing. I had to homebrew Max's psionic monk type thing. Darrel's is heavily homebrewed. This is a Frankenstein of like 3 different classes. So yeah, there needs to be a psionic. But but otherwise, I mean, almost every other trope is covered really well in the system. Like if you're looking for something, they've got it. There's like 6 different types of rogues. They've got plenty of wizards and sorcerers. The Immolator is actually a base class. There's a base class called the Immolator, which is just you just set everything on fire.
And you can be like human, elf, salamander.
Oh, that's
Oh my
awesome.
god, what?
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, highly recommend the Immolator. I'd love to see somebody play the Immolator in season 3.
I want to do that.
Yeah. Speaking of season 3, guys, it's coming up soon. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to be finished by the end of this month. So first week in November will be our Extra Life 24-hour stream. So we'll be done before that. So tune in the next 2/3 weeks. I think probably it'll be 3 sessions, but it might only be 2. So tune in for the next at least 2 sessions, and then maybe I'll cliffhanger you. Maybe I won't. We'll see what happens. But by the end of this month, we'll be over. And if I do finish it in 2 sessions, we're going to do a Halloween-style one-shot.
Whoa!
But if I don't, then we'll do a Halloween-style finale.
I'm just saying, our session paid off, so you guys got to fucking bring it. I went full-blown evil, and
You mean full-blown anti-hero?
And Justin fucking died.
Yeah,
so
Justin
you guys got a lot to live up for.
Yeah, that was, man, Sislak dying was so rough.
Because he died made the deal to survive, and then like 3 turns later died again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he made a deal with Keeganis to survive, one that really made him swallow his pride. And he was playing like a very Kip Brannigan type of character.
Oh my God.
So the idea of him like swallowing his pride was
The worst.
brutal.
It was so
Yeah.
funny because like he like died, and it was because he was commander of the army, and Keeganis was like, if you want to go back, you have to give Yenin control of the army. And he definitely considered not coming back.
Yeah, he was like, oh, maybe I should just die. He's like, maybe I'll just die instead of doing that.
And I was like, listen, regardless of what happens, I'm getting control of the army.
Yeah, so Justin handed over control of the army to Yenin, and then promptly died a minute later.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even worth it. Oh man, that was brutal. I feel really bad for how that turned out for Justin. All right, so thank you for tuning in, guys. You can follow me on Twitter at Mrs. Shawn Graham. Make sure you're following us on all social media at Saving Throw Show on Twitter, Facebook, blah, 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 Instagram, all those places. Kelsey.
Hey guys, Kelsey here. Coming at ya.
Kelsey's drunk.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, my brain is so melted. Follow me on Twitter at Kelsey Kelsum. If you like paranormal romance books, check them out on Audible. Just do a search of my name, Kelsey Osbourne. You'll find them. There's like a dozen to choose from. If you really want to be cool, tweet at me and I'll give you a free code for a book.
Keeper versus Reaper is fantastic.
And there are multiple ones. There's series. There are series on there, guys. Multiple books.
I actually have 6 Audible credits I need to spend like
There
before I
you go.
cancel
Buy
my
one of my
subscription.
books.
Listen, listening
got
to
flights to
Kelsey
Japan
tell you a
next week.
story in the car is fantastic.
I still have not.
Cannot recommend it highly enough.
Thank you.
I spend so much time in the car, and I spend so much time wasted listening to NPR. So, yeah, that would be a much better option.
But they did a great thing about eggs this morning.
I listened to that. Oh, it was upsetting. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, because I'm so used to hearing it on the way home from work, where it's like real news, and it was just like half an hour about eggs.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Fucking
right.
NPR.
So I'm Darrel Haynes. You can follow me on Twitter at Darrel Haynes, on Instagram at Darrel the Haynes. Got a sketch team at Nerdist. We're going to perform next weekend, next Saturday at 8 o'clock. The Burbs. I got an improv team. We perform every Sunday at different times, but improv Sundays at Nerdist. And I got a Twitch stream Mondays and Fridays, 3 to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Inner Gamer Cast on Twitch.
What you been playing lately?
I've been going back and forth. I actually put in Dark Souls 3 for the first time. I'm going to get back into Dark Souls 3. I really like that game. It's just, I was at a frustrating part, but I finally figured it out.
Is the frustrating part the beginning to the end?
Yeah, but it was a major frustration because it was just like this giant that you couldn't get across. He'd just kill you instantly. So I just stood in the doorway. I'd go hit him, run in the doorway where he couldn't hit me, and just shoot him with spells. And I kept doing that. It took me like 30 minutes. But he died, and he doesn't come back. So now I'm past that part. So
I love that where you just have to be
it
like,
doesn't happen too
I know
often.
this will
But
take me 40 minutes, but then I'll get to move on with the game.
yeah, exactly.
So,
So it was
that's
exciting once he finally died, and like I finally get past that
Yeah,
part.
because it's great, because once you kill that guy, then you get to go through a hallway where people are around the corner at all times,
Yeah.
waiting to hit you, and you can't see them.
Exactly.
Until it's too late.
Like as I went further, like 3 minutes later, these 2 giant rats just destroyed me. And I was like, oh.
Lovely.
And then I quit for a while after that. Like I was like, okay,
Throw
we'll do
your
this another
controller
day
across the
because
room.
it's frustrating.
I like Mario Tennis. You know, it's
Yeah.
way more fun.
But
You
it's
know-
worth it. I love Dark Souls so much. I love it. I love it.
All right.
Okay, Eric.
All right.
I'm Eric. You can either follow me on Twitter, DUNCOR, or you can follow me on Instagram at Mostly Shit, and I do a podcast on with some buddies at JustCoolEnough.com.
Okay, my name is Jordan. You can follow me at Jordan Pidgeon on Twitter. I'm trying to tweet more. You can also check out, I have a video group called Senior Ditch Day. You can check us out at youtube.com/Senior Ditch Day. I'm also part of the Nerdist School. If you are in LA, we have a show tonight at 8 o'clock with another team called Hooch, and it's going to be great. Scott is also on the Money Pit with me. And also, please check out the podcast I'm part of called This American Lie. It is on iTunes and other places. but mostly iTunes. And it's very funny, and I enjoy doing it a lot. And I guess that's it for me.
Scottrick?
So my plugs are that none of you kept me accountable. I did not write the thing I was saying I was going to write last week. So tweet me and be like, did you write that thing?
Oh, yeah.
You can tweet me at Notably Scott. I have a show tonight with Jordan, unfortunately. No, I'm just kidding. I love having a show with Jordan.
Yay!
At the Nerdist School Theater if you're in Los Angeles. You can also check out my website, notablyconventional.com, for like random thoughts and stuff that I haven't posted on in a long time. But it's there. Yeah, I think that's about it.
And what show should they watch?
Oh, you should watch Pitch on Fox Thursdays at 8 or 9. Check your local listings.
So easy to figure that out. Google,
Check
Google
your
is a
local
thing.
listings.
Yeah, and like I said last week, Twitter loves that show. So it's fun to watch a show when people are tweeting along with that show.
And if you can't catch it live, please watch it on Hulu or whatever streaming service that you pay for.
And watch it within 3 days of it happening.
You know what? Even 7 days is fine.
Oh, is it 7 days?
We get a +3 and we get a +7. So don't beat yourself up if you don't watch it within 3 days. Watch it within 7.
Good. So you have time. You've got every fucking excuse in the world at this point.
Yeah, you lost your job. You've got nothing else going on.
Yeah, exactly.
You can watch it 17 times. Eric, fucking watch it 17 times.
I have all the time in the world now, except I'm going to Japan.
Well, there is that. There is
Okay.
that.
Enjoy Japan. I hope you find those underwear machines that don't exist, but that I've read so much about on the internet. And
I hope they exist.
They don't. Somebody confirmed that they do not exist, but
it was a convincing lie.
it was so convincing because it's like, oh yeah, Japanese people are batshit crazy, so that's a thing that would exist.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit in Japan.
So why would that not? It's actually upsetting that doesn't exist.
You know, there's a lot of weird shit in the United States.
Yeah.
So
Okay, name one weird thing about the U.S. One weird thing.
traffic laws.
Okay, name 2 weird things about the U.S.
People
Trump.
watch other people pretend to be other people online.
Trump does not count as weird at this point. Trump is. I honestly, at this point, feel like he is the world's problem. Like, I realize that, part of this is on us, but also, like, how come no other country has sent in some fucking SEAL 6 team to kill him?
That's a good point.
You know? It's not just on us.
Because we would probably fuck them up for doing that.
Yeah, we would.
Yeah, no,
we would.
yeah,
we'd
that's
extremely
not
upset
okay.
right away. Actually,
We are the biggest bully on the playground.
yeah, we wouldn't allow it. But I want it to happen. So I guess we'll have to just settle for him losing an election. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. Super appreciate you watching. Big numbers this week. Really appreciate all the donations, all the followers, and keep watching.
Goodbye.
Bam, bam, bam,
Bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, bam, bam.